What's up, slackers? Let me know if you hear me. I probably totally butchered that audio there, but what's going on, guys? How you doing? Oh man. Yes. So what's going on, slackers? Let me play some music as I choke on water over here. Let me know how the audio is. Oh man. So how are you guys doing tonight? Hoff took #1 Port Royal. Yes, it did. Did you see all the Hoff results? I picked a good time to kill my card, apparently. Because I don't think that card was up to those clocks, to be honest. Let me know how I sound, guys. We have some new audio set up, so I'm not sure how it sounds. Maybe it's too loud, I don't know. I think it should be pretty good, but I don't know. Oh, bear with me for a second. I just choked on a bunch of water. Oh, so what's going on, guys? Oh, it's good to be back. It's been a while. A little depressing with all this 3090 killing, I guess you can say. Let's kick off some music, too, because this is Bearded Hardware. We need some good music. All right. Oh, hi in Florida. Audio is good. Sounds great. How's the music? Let me know if the music is too loud, too. Trying to get hydrated. Oh, my nerd senses. YouTube audio good. Just grab the phone to check and bang. Nice. Yeah, so we upgraded the audio a little bit. We're getting there. Yeah, I want to start doing more streams. I figured we haven't done a stream in a long time. I was going to do a video. Well, originally I was going to do a video. And then I figured, you know what? Let's do the 3090. And when I went to pre-test last night, oh, man. Let's just say it was a bad night. I probably should not even have been benching. Like I tell you all the time, I should not bench or work on anything when I am tired. Because, man, I am exhausted. I was exhausted last night, basically. I ended up, I was doing yard work for like 12 hours. Basically at the point where I probably should have just turned off. But, yeah, I didn't turn it off. Oh... You can hear the choking clarity. You can't hear music? Here, let me turn up the music a little bit. I'm trying to keep it so it's not so overpowering. Oh, so how are you slackers doing? You can see my pretty face. Everything sounds so good. And the YouTube interface is crashing. Like usual with me. I always have issues with YouTube, it seems. It's choppy. I don't know how it's choppy. I got excellent connection. Make sure you F5. Yes, this is happening, Donnie. It's been a... Daminy. However you say your name. It drives me nuts. Yeah, if you guys have a issue on your side, YouTube basically tells me that you guys are all good. So, if it's a problem, it's most likely a problem on your side. So, gonna do some gaming tonight. Can't hear. Let's see. I think the music is almost set there. Let me just adjust it a little bit. Oh, is what choppy? It says the video has some chop. Audio is good. Yeah, I'm curious. See, I only get. I don't know. YouTube is funny like this. So when I have it, it basically shows me as everything's running well. And you guys might be having issues, so who knows. But anyway, I figured we'd kick off this night. I'm a little bummed out on the 3090. I mean, I really wanted to show Jay what's up. And to be honest, my other two cards are crap, and you really have to bin cards. Like, if you could see what's up on Hoff, I think they said they didn't bin their cards, but if 3 people all get retail cards, and they're all top 3, you have to wonder, yeah, they're not binned. Okay. All 2,800 over. I don't believe that for a second. Oh, but is it dropping for everybody? Let's see if we can get about 5 people. If they're complaining about it's choppy, then maybe we'll change something. But oh, it feels stuttery. I wonder why it feels stuttery. It should be pretty good. Let's see, my box is running. It is running pretty hot. Let me see. This is the problem. Every time that I tell you guys I need to like update my editing box, and then I never get to it. Well, yeah. Let's see. So some people have issues, some people don't. So we're gonna cough that up to basically your issue connection point with YouTube at some point. Because to be honest, YouTube gives me a notification of how nice it is. And right now I got excellent condition. No complaints from YouTube. They say everything is all good. So even if it's stuttery, you might just want to hit F5, maybe close out your stuff and hammer back into it. So, but yeah. Let's see. So I guess we can get started here. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We have another camera angle, so you're not going to just look at my pretty face. I know, even though you guys want to and all. Yeah. But how is the server? To be honest, someone asked me about that before. The NAS. The NAS is actually working great. It's a little noisy with the fans, but to be honest, it's pretty awesome. I am enjoying it. It's choppy, but only when you move. Not bad. Which is strange. It is indeed choppy on a 1 gig fiber connection. There's not much I can do about YouTube. If YouTube says it's working well, then like that's pretty much how it is. So that's just how it is, man. There's not much I can do. If whatever you guys want me to do, there's pretty much nothing I can do. So it's pretty much. Let's see. I'm trying to see if I have any data connections. CPU seems good. We're live. We are dropping a tiny bit of frames, it seems. I wonder if we have an internet connection issue. Because sometimes that happens. See, choppy here, getting worse, encoding. It stutters for you, just rewind a bit, and buffer should sort out itself. Actually, I think I'm starting to drop frames. We might have some issue with the internet connection. Because it was running well. YouTube tells me the connection, but I'm getting a lot of dropped frames in OBS. So just bear with me a second. I'm just gonna kick it off real quick, and I'm gonna turn it off real quick and then turn it back on. So just bear with me, because I'm dropping frames in OBS. I don't think it's an issue where. Actually, let me try this real quick. Maybe we have too many things running. We get misstutters. Seems to be coincide with the big movement, which says CPU is dropping frames. I guess this is going to be a troubleshooting stream, because this is annoying. It's not raining again. That was crazy last time. Last time, I don't know if you guys are just joining us, we had a big issue where all of a sudden frames started dropping out of nowhere. YouTube said it was fine, and then all of a sudden we had a storm that came through. I lost a lot of power, lost about everything. Yeah, major drops. I'm starting to see them now too. It's funny though, YouTube says I have an excellent condition, which is absolutely funny at this point. Alright, I'm gonna stop OBS real quick, and I'll be right back. So just bear with me. We'll be right back. We're gonna be going for a while, so don't change your channel. Alright, I'm back again. Let's see if we're still dropping. They are lying. It's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I keep on dropping a little bit of frames. It's like 15. I feel like every time I move, that's when all of a sudden the frames start getting crazy. So I'm wondering if I'm going to have to change some type of setting. Ugh. Why does YouTube always have to be a problem? I feel like it's always. Let's see. Anybody recommend a different encoder? Right now my video rate is at 25,000, and this encoder is Software X264, which should be fine, but 3 to 6 inches. YouTube only measures resolution, compares it to the connection. Well, yeah, that's pretty apparent, as it doesn't let me do anything. It's a says I've been looking for OC guide for 5950X for daily. Yes, that's pretty much the plan. We're just gonna go full AMD right now. No, it's not anything to do with my camera. I have two Sony A7s. One's an S3 and the other one. I don't even know what that question is. Change to MVEC. The movement did look smoother. Says you need to do it more so you can figure it out. Isn't that the truth? I know. What preset are you using for X264? Hold on, let me go back in there. Because we do need to get this stream worked out for future streams at least. So, let's see. Try using NVEC. I'm gonna have to drop it again, you guys know. Let's try that. I think the resolution is only... Let's see what my video resolution is. Oh, yeah, we're at HD. Or not HD, we're at 4K. That's probably why I think I upgraded 4K behind the scenes. So I think we might have to change to... I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do that. Let me try to lower the resolution. I have to stop OBS and then start it back up. So just give me another second, and I'll be right back. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. Let's try this, guys. All right, can you guys hear me now? Tried base. So there's basically a couple things that goes on. So you have a base canvas one. So I was trying to keep the canvas so it was 4K and then have them shrink the output, but apparently you can't do that. So that's why it came back on at 4K. I guess I completely forgot I did this. I actually went through and I changed everything to 4K, and apparently there's no way my connection is going to be able to go 4K. So yeah, that's my fault, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to give you guys some like a better view. Yeah, so I gotta end up cleaning up everything in OBS because I have everything to set to a 4K platform, and it's not working as much as I planned. So yeah, you can see everything. OBS is confusing. What's a good 16 memory kit with good ICs and dual rank that's RGB at a good price? I don't know. I'm a big fan of the G-Skill stuff. Some of the Corsair, it depends if you want to overclock or not. Depending if you want to try like certain memory and stuff like that. So yeah, so I was trying to, man. So how does it look now? You guys can see the Ryzen setup with the Intel board. This is the Z490 Apex. That's the Voodoo Apex. And then we have, obviously, me back here. And then I'm gonna have to adjust some more screens here, so bear with me. Because I had to change the whole canvas. I thought maybe I could just scale it down, and it just didn't. OBS is not that friendly, apparently. So, don't mind me. I'm just adjusting this. This is when we when we actually get the machine set up. So, waiting on the RMA on the Aorus 3080. That sucks, man. Sorry, Dave. Or Leviathan Prelim. What is that, bro? Maybe an issue in link between your ISP and Google. No more laggy. So everything's good now, right? You know what the funniest part is about right now? Is that now YouTube basically tells me there's no data. That's pretty funny. So, I thought 4K would be the cool way to go, but yeah, I'm not so sure. So, what would you say is the best budget AMD motherboard? Well, the problem is it's hard to get budget, because if you go too cheap, you're going to get a lot less features. So it depends if like you need Wi-Fi, stuff like that. Then I don't know. I go with the beefier. I like the overclocking motherboards because a lot of the times you get better beefier VRMs, and then you get better memory support and overclocking ability and stuff like that. That's pretty much what you're paying for with a decent motherboard. So if you're going to go with like a really cheap budget board, you're gonna end up having to slack in a lot of different ways. So you kind of want to be pretty good. What is this? Anyone still got video? Hey, can't get audio in my clips. Do you know the reason? My game audio in my clips. What are you talking about? For OBS? You don't have to spam a little bit too much, man. I'm gonna end up putting you in timeout, broski. All right, B550 brick and mortar bazooka. The Dark Hero is a monster. Alright, okay. So let's get down to it. Now that the stream is actually running pretty well, it still says we're dropping a little bit of frames. Yeah, that was actually me being the mod that actually killed those. So everything's now good. Before we start, I just want to make sure that everything's going good. Tiny bit of stutter. I think you probably need to tweak things, and you can make. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to tweak a lot of things to make it work. Actually. Oh, so all right. I need at least 5 people to tell me everything's all right, and then we'll go move on to the next one because I don't want to be making it awful. Let's see. Let me try one more thing. I actually noticed some more drop frames. So now we're getting drop frames again, but the CPU is awfully low. We're at 24 frames. And it's not that bad, actually. Now we seem to be fine. You know what it is? The music just turned off. Let's try something real quick. Let's see. Can you guys hear any of the music? Make sure, let me know. Maybe YouTube being Ebola. I don't know, man. I feel like the problem is actually if I actually do enable music, that's when I start getting issues. It's kind of funny. Sadly, not much different. Periodically dropping frames. Now and then it drops. Here, let me just turn off the music because it looks like it's the music site that's actually causing me a bunch of headaches. Let me just close out a bunch of stuff. I'm not gonna keep messing with stuff. I just want to be able to stream stuff. Yeah, well, the problem is I can't do 60 frames. Sony doesn't really do 60 frames, which is weird. I'll probably just do 30. Let's see. Are you using NVEC? I just actually switched it. Before we were running H.264, and now we're on NVEC. So I'm not really sure what the issue is, but we tend to be dropping frames quite a bit. I don't know. I'm almost wondering maybe trying to just to. Yeah, we're at 24 frames. I probably should do a 30 frames. Yeah, I'm running a 9900K at the moment. Thank you, sir. May I have another? All right. So, I don't know. I think the drop frames is improving. I feel like it's coming in and out. We're just going to kind of give it a tiny bit more. What do you mean music didn't help? Turning off the music? Because the funny thing is... Oh, nope. Dropped frames again. Let's see. Yeah, I just noticed. I've just tested again. I wonder if there's something... I don't want to shut anything down, so... I guess this is going to be an OBS messing with stream. Let's see. We need the beard smooth as possible. Drop the bit rate a bit. It's possibly a connection. I think my connection is the problem for sure. Let me just try the bit rate. I think 10,000. I don't even know why it's up. I think it recommended me to run that rate. I think for 4K, I think that must have been it. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to have to stop it and just... All right, let's try this again. Look at that. Ooh, I get the big green from OBS now. OBS overclocking tutorial. That's basically what it needs to be. Yeah, so not 10K. So 10K is actually really good. So before I had it set to 25K, but I think I had to do that for 4K for some reason. I don't remember. So I must have been in here getting ready and doing something to get it all set up, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting that it doesn't work now. I guess that's the first time I tested it for 4K, so it looks like there's no way with my ISP that I'm going to be able to do 4K. So, yeah, I literally have 0 dropped frames now, so I'm pretty much just pretty sure that that was the issue. So, we'll give it a tiny bit, but I think it should be really smooth now. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Like butter now. Yeah. Yep, I have 2 cameras right now. So let's start going over the setup because I think it's actually pretty good. Yeah, frames are perfect. It's crispy. So we should get crispy audio and crispy video now. Yes. Ah, awesome. So we have this, basically this camera that you have right here. So just in case you want to learn about lenses and stuff like this, this is I have it, my A7 III, basically hooked up with my 50mm 1.4 badass Sony lens. So this basically is very good. Focus issue? Yeah, it's going to come in and out. I don't have manual focus on. I have autofocus on. But this is the A7 III. Sometimes the autofocus is not as good. The other camera that I have up is the A7S III. Now that's going to have basically I think it's a 24mm 1.4 lens. It's a G Master lens. It's pretty good. But yeah. Just excited. What is going on? Why is everybody always oh, that guy. I basically kind of killed that guy, so. All right, so, yeah. We got a bunch of views going on here. We might as well get started after we went through everything. You'll see right here, I always have my CRC. Never leave home without it. This is the best stuff. I use this to spray out pretty much any paste, so if you can see how there's blue paste in there now. I can spray that out like crazy. But, yeah, so we got a couple things. So this is the Voodoo Apex that I've had. It's kind of been such a headache over the past. It's just driving me nuts. All right, so we're going to have to... Dun, 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 dun. Hi. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I had to take care of a couple things. So we got the Voodoo Apex right here. So what we're going to end up doing is I'm just going to... I don't know. We're going to retire the Voodoo Apex for a while. It was really fun to play with this, with the EK Cryo. I definitely liked it. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up switching to the Dark Hero. We're going to run the X570 Dark Hero. Let me get that actually listed up. We have a bunch of good stuff. So, let's see. We'll take out the Apex here. And I'll show you the Dark Hero. To be honest, I've been excited to play with this board. I just haven't had a reason to do it. So I figure since we don't have the 3090 running, that we're going to end up playing with the Dark Hero. So it is a good board. Do you want insurance with that? Some thumping out. I probably should get an insurance policy just on whenever I touch everything lately. Because I feel like it's been, I don't know. It's been the last couple months has been kind of brutal. But that's just how it is in the overclocking game. You win some and you lose some, but you live to play again. But yeah, so we got two processors. What do you guys, trust me, the 5950X is has, like, to get this chip, I don't know. I had to basically sell, like, 2 arms and then, like, steal them back and then go through again, and it was driving me absolutely nuts. So, yeah. So, I literally got these probably a couple weeks ago, and I had to pull a lot of strings. Like I said, probably sold both legs. Basically, sold my arm, you know, a couple fingers, and then got it back. But yeah, so I actually have 2 chips. I don't know what you guys are more excited about. I have the 5950X and then a 5800X. So, I don't know. I think the 5800X we'll save for later. I think we're going to play with the 5950X because why not? It's 16 cores and they're hard to get, but yeah, I think the 5950X would be good to start off with, and then if we do some other testing, we could probably play with the 5800X, but I don't know. If you guys want to do something different, let me know in the comments. Like, if you guys want to, if you think the 5950X, we should go with that, or we should go with the 5800X. I think either way, it'd be kind of fun. So the whole point is to have some content through the AMD side. We're going to have a lot. So I figured this is just going to be the starting point for our AMD overclocking, because I'm going to be also, I think next week's video is going to be, we're going to end up doing my build for, I know we talked about my build a while ago and just never did anything with it. And that's because I was waiting for parts. When I found out with the Threadripper that on the particular board, the ASRock board that I had, that you couldn't, basically you only had 3 X16 slots that you could use, and then you had some 1X slot. But like on Threadripper, like that, to me, that just is like pointless to me. So, I don't know. But, so we're gonna end up doing the basically the Dark Hero. This is a really nice board. Highly recommended. Probably the nicest X570 board that I've seen. The Crosshair 8 Dark Hero Rogue. Rogue is actually making some good stuff. So we have that. And then we also have the RX 6900 XT. And I've had this for a while, and I think the whole goal for everything with this is to really sink down into Big Navi and kind of see what it's all about. I haven't really played with an AMD card in years. And I mean, to be honest, they haven't really been relevant compared to NVIDIA. I mean, it's at the point where I think it needs to be revisited, and I don't know. To me, it actually seems a lot more interesting than dealing with 3090, because pretty much at the 3090 level right now, for me to do any more liquid nitrogen work, it's kind of boring. Like, not gonna lie, like it's kind of the same repetitive. I don't know if you guys have been watching Jay's stream, but he's been like, it's almost like rinse and repeat. Like you basically unmount it, remount it, go it again. Dismount it, remount it, do it again. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I've really wanted to sit down and take some time with AMD and on the GPU side to see what they're doing. So I figured this is the best time to start. I was gonna start with the 5700 XT, but I don't know. When I benched with Steve from Gamers Nexus, it was kind of like, I don't know. It just wasn't all the stuff that we had to deal with. This might be the same thing. So I don't know. But I feel like it's a good time. I feel like you guys would enjoy it. And I've heard so many weird things about the 6900 XT where they have a 3000 clock limit. So let's find out. Like, I figured the best way is to go through and figure it out ourselves, right? So I'm used to doing this on my own. So I figure I'm gonna end up I'll bring you guys along for the journey, and we can play along together. So we have that too. So I feel like we're gonna do. We got the good CPU, we got the good GPU, but we have this 5950X. But how are we gonna cool it? You know what I'm saying? Well, this monster right here. Let's see. It's gonna be kind of hard to autofocus into it, but actually I think it's on manual focus right now. But you see that? That's the ICEGIANT. The ICEGIANT is a giant cooler. Like, it's the version. It's basically, here, let's switch over. Basically, it's the cooler, like the air cooler version of me. It's pretty badass. So I don't know if you guys have checked this out. ICEGIANT makes some badass coolers. I think Linus did something on it. But let's see if we can show you guys again now that we opened up the box. And we're probably gonna break something over here. With my luck, I need some better insurance. Let's see. Yeah, we need the manual focus. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's not much of an OC stream this time, unfortunately. Yeah, so the goal for this is to basically... So why are we doing this? Mainly the goal is to kick off this AMD stuff. I figured I'd give you guys a stream. I was going to bench 3090. Since we killed the card, it's kind of pointless at this point. And I was really bummed because that's pretty much what was all planned. So I kind of had to go... I don't know. I basically had to kind of think of what we were going to do today. So that's why I put up the poll and trying to figure it out. So... But yeah, let me pull out that ICEGIANT cooler, but because the thing's huge. And it's funny, too, because they got a picture of me on it. I don't know. Maybe I should make them pay me money for that. Because it does look like me. What's up from New Zealand? What's up, Slacker? Bear with us today. It's kind of a bum day. Rest in peace, my 3090. Let's see, we got so many boxes. See if you guys can see it now. One sec. I'm getting there. There we go. Yeah, let's do this. Turn autofocus on. Instead of doing manual. Sometimes you just can't do everything yourself, if you know what I'm saying. Next video on stuff that still works. Yeah. Well, if you're not pushing it hard enough, then, I don't know. Are you actually even overclocking? Awesome. So, yeah, we got the awesome ICEGIANT cooler. So I figured that's going to be a great combo with this AMD setup. I figure with you got the Crosshair 8, Dark Hero, we got the 5950X. We have, I'm going to end up putting my Trident Royal Z's, the G skills in there, pretty much my overclocking RAM, so that way we can do some overclocking tutorials. How heavy is this cooler? Like I said, like it's definitely like, I don't know, the air cooler that is like simulated to be just like me, I think. So it's pretty heavy. You know, I don't know if you guys know how big I am, but I'm like 300 pounds. So it's not quite that big, but it's pretty big. It's, to be honest, it's actually, for what you're getting in this, is basically, I don't know, you're getting like a full water cooling ability in pretty much a 240 rad sized setup. So basically the equivalent of having, I don't know, like a EK 240 liquid setup. But you don't have any of the setup. That's kind of the cool part about it. To be honest, it's really easy to use. Easy to set up. They give you a bunch of directions and stuff. So, I mean, it's not that bad. Really, the only problem that I ever have with it is trying to make some memory fit with it, which is pretty typical with air coolers. Yeah, so this is just, this is how it comes to you, like when you modify it. So, or when you put it on, you basically torque it down here, and then you put two fans on it. So it basically has a push-pull setup. So they included more fans. I just didn't, I had it hidden. Here we go. So if you look here, you basically get another set of two fans. They didn't jip you only getting two fans. But to be honest, it's relatively quiet. It runs really well. To be honest, I was really quite amazed with it. I originally tested this on Threadripper, the 32 core. And to be honest, this thing was amazing. Like, I was able to bench like 4.6 3D, almost 4.7 3D. Like, you're talking like 3D marks. I wanted to say, I don't know if, I'm trying to remember exactly what bench. I think it was Time Spy. But like 4.5, 4.6 on a 32 core Threadripper, this thing can handle it, which is absolutely mind blowing to me. It's a really badass cooler. So I've told them that I've wanted to test it and do some video with it, and I just haven't had the chance to. I don't think it's a good idea to put it up on Port Royal, but yeah. So we're gonna end up putting this on the test bench. So I don't know if you guys saw what I was. The Apex. The Apex basically has an acrylic, what's it called? Motherboard black backplate. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up taking that off, and we're going to replace it with the Crosshair. So we're just going to be doing an open bench test, because that's pretty much what I do. We're going to be going through and testing a lot of different stuff. So this isn't just going to be like, I don't know. We want to test bench so that way we can test pretty much how far we can push it, right? So I'm really excited with the ICEGIANT. Really, when I had the ICEGIANT, where I was trying to get like a 5950X to test on it. So, and I wasn't able to do it because obviously you guys know what all the sourcing issues. I really had to pull a lot of strings to really get that chip. So I think we're going to go with the 5950X on this. And yeah, so I remember seeing a prototype that had Nachua fans. Interesting that they are Arctic fans now. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Nachua didn't like it. I do want to test in the future. So this is just, so we're just gonna do a setup today. We're not gonna go down and do all. We're just gonna wing it at pretty much for hours. So we're gonna see what's going on, playing around, hook everything up, maybe get some initial settings going on, see what temps are going. We're just gonna keep going and going and going and going. So, but yeah, so we're gonna have to orient this and try to figure out how to put it on this board, because even on Threadripper it takes up a chunk and you got to be careful for memory space and stuff. But to be honest, it's one of my favorite test bench coolers, and I highly recommend it for daily systems. So if you're afraid to I don't know, set up your own water cooling system, and you don't want to go through all the hassle and you want to be able to do some beastly overclocks, this thing is pretty much your game. So I'm going to end up having to do a separate video just on this and explain, but I figure it's cool to give you guys a little bit of insight on how I feel about it, because to be honest, it's one of my favorite coolers. So I highly recommend it. They're relatively cheap for what you get compared to, remember, you're getting a water cooling system in here, you know? You just have to be careful when you're mounting this, that the orientation of how you have to have it is... Basically, you have to make sure it's set up the right way. So, like I say, if you don't know, you always should read the directions no matter what anyway, because you never know what you might miss. So, Delta fans. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to put Delta fans on there. I don't know if you guys know, but back in maybe 12 years ago, most of the overclockers and stuff, we used to use, well, some of them did. We would buy these high RPM fans. I'm talking 15,000 RPMs. I used to call them finger choppers, because as soon as you pretty much, if you put your finger right near there, dude, your finger's gone. So, but yeah, that would be the other thing with those fans that is really funny is that when you turn them on for the first time, they sound like a jet engine. They just take off, and it's like being at the airport. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, directions. So directions will save your ass, big time. I always I highly recommend reading directions, just peruse them, just go through them and check them out, you know. But I'm not saying go buy directions, because to be honest, most of the time, most of the directions you guys get are really awful, to be honest. So the reason why I usually say read the directions is just to get a base start off. And while we're talking about that, we might as well talk about ICEGIANT directions. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed with them, because not all the time with a lot of these coolers, it's kind of hard to figure out how to put it together. So you can see in here that they give you lots of directions. I don't know if the autofocus is going to pick this up, but yeah, there it is. See how it's the vertical orientation. So you have to have the cooler a certain way if you're going to put it in a case. So we're going to have it on a bench top, so it's just going to be back and forth. So that we just need to make sure that that it's oriented right. See how it's up and down? Where am I there? Right there. So it's pretty dummy proof. I mean, this is really for somebody that is maybe scared to do a 240 liquid or do their own. I don't know. I like it. I enjoy it. I mean, this can tame the 32 core Threadripper. I mean, you're talking about a 32 core. This thing can run it at 4 or 5, no problem. I haven't got a chance to test it on the 64 core. The 64 core is badass too. I'm a big fan of the 64 core. It just, mine doesn't work. So I'm waiting for another 64 core to come, and then we're gonna play with this cooler on there, because I want to actually compare it to a 240 system. If we did a custom built 240 rad, how does it compare? So that's gonna be in some future stuff. This is a lot of stuff we're gonna be doing. I don't know. We're going to be changing stuff around a little bit. A little bit less extreme OC, but a lot of knowledgeable stuff that I think you guys are going to like. And to be honest, I think a little bit more fun. So, but yeah, let's start getting to building some stuff out. So easy a Viking can do it. What is that supposed to mean, Dave? I remember that, Dave. Writing that down, mental picture. Yeah. Alright, so let's get over to this Apex. Man, this thing is all dirty and nasty. Let's move the ICEGIANT around over here so you guys can see. So what we have to do is we have to take off the Apex. Luckily, on these bench setups, what I do is I only put in 2 screws, so it's not going to take too long. So you got 1. Oop. Problem is having gigantic hands, too. Run the cold tap water. Hey, I can't waste water. No, what I want to do is I have a plan. Actually, I can't talk about it because I don't want anybody to steal my idea. So I want to see some stuff. Or I'm going to show you guys some stuff. I have some videos planned in the future. But I'm waiting on a lot of hardware. I think 2020 is the... 2020 and 2021 are basically the years of waiting for shit. Because I don't think I've had to wait longer than any other year. Other than 2020. Everything I wanted to get, basically, I was always delayed or harder to get. Is it slacker proof? Nothing is slacker proof. Like I said, when you break stuff, right? If you don't break stuff, you're not pushing it hard enough. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's open up this crosshair. To be honest, I haven't even seen the crosshair board like naked. If you know what I'm saying. Some real hardware porn. So we're gonna open it up together. Here, might as well whip out the knife. Ooh, yeah, buddy. The Opinel. What motherboard is that with the orange accents on your wall? That is one of my favorite motherboards. High Cookie from Gigabyte. But that's called the OC Champion. I think I had like hundreds of records on that board. It's one of my favorite platforms. I don't know. I just had to have it over there. It's one of those trophies that you would just put up. Like, that board was just so epic, and we just did so much with it. I don't know. It was back in the good old days when the sponsors were different and everything was just a lot different back then. But yeah, so that's one of High Cookie's cool things. But from what I hear, High Cookie's supposed to be coming out with a new board. I don't know. He's kind of teased on Facebook and stuff of, I think I don't know, some of the new Intel stuff. But who knows? I feel like how do you guys feel about the Intel stuff? Like, I'm not even sure how I feel about it. I feel like it's regressing a little bit. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I don't really have too much info on it, so I haven't had Intel marketing reach out to me or anything like that, so I have really no idea what's going on with Rocket League. But let's see. Let's put this puppy on here because she is beautiful. You know what? Before I do that, we always have to take... Let's see. I know we're gonna have to mod the cooler. So if you look, you'll see that I have like these little acrylic board holders. This one I just got off of Amazon, real cheap. To be honest, these things are great. You don't really need much, but it says what board can you use 2 GPUs? Pretty much every board you can use 2 GPUs because it's only SLI. If you want to do 3 GPUs, it depends on which GPUs you want to do because I think if you mean like you're talking about the 4 slot for 3090, that's different. Love your streams. Can't buy anything computer related this year. So going outside this year to experience real ray tracing. Crazy Junior, dude, I think that's one of my problems lately is that, to be honest, I just want to go outside. I need a big boat day. Daddy needs a new boat. But yeah, that GN product placement. Yeah, I just usually put on products that I approve of, so. But yeah, let's put this together, and then I want to show off this board a little bit. I'm only putting these 2 in, so it's not going to be like it's screwed down. I think we have to take off, the standard AMD mount. I'm not sure. I haven't even looked at the directions yet for the ICEGIANT. Remember, with the ICEGIANT, I only installed it on the Threadripper, which is obviously a way different socket than this. Coffin leg. That's pretty funny. In total lockdown, there's no going outside, and it sucks. I know, I'm sorry, broskies. I know how hard this, even for me, like, it's been crazy times, man. Absolutely crazy times. But let's see, let's check out this board. Let's move some of this stuff around. I'm already making a mess over here. So let's kind of move some stuff while I break some stuff. So here we go. We got the... Ooh, did I not put the other one in? No, I did. Okay, good. So yes, we got the Asus Rogue Dark Hero. It's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty awesome setup. If you need a boat, ask Jay. It's his thing. I don't know. I was talking to Jay, and he didn't seem like he was all that happy about boating. I think he's just got the itch for overclocking, which happens a lot. Team Group has good RAM. Yeah, Team Group's another one to be able to do, too. You have the same TV remote? Yep, this is for my big 70-inch I have in here. But yeah, this is an awesome board. If you want to get into memory overclocking on the AMD side, this one is supposed to be one of the best. There's not much wrong with this board. I don't think there's anything wrong with this board. It's a pretty badass board. I wouldn't have got it if it wasn't a badass board. Asus didn't send this to me, so like this is something that I bought. This is something that I purchased. And this is not a sample. Like, I'm trying to get away from doing samples and stuff because a lot of the time, like, there's a lot of stipulations on the back end that I just don't even want to deal with anymore. So most of the stuff that I do is you're going to see is my honest opinion, what I buy, and basically what I pass to you guys. So I highly recommend this board. It's a really, really cool board. I would definitely run a daily system on it myself. So I highly recommend it. So we got the board. Now we need to figure out how we put the cooler together. Let's see. Let's take some questions. Jay likes to sink boats in the game. Well, that's kind of... what are you sinking boats for? Alrighty, so let's look and figure out how we're going to get this cooler set up. If you look here, basically you have all sorts of setups. You have AMD, you have Intel, and it shouldn't be that difficult. I think, yeah, for AMD mounting AM4, it tells us we need 4 bolts, or 4 screws, and the spacer. So, we're right here. Autofocus, there we go. See? So we need to find, basically, those screws and those spacers. I like your content. It's different and refreshing from other channels. Well, thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. I try to do my best. YouTube doesn't really make it easy these days. And, I mean, trust me, when I don't stream, I miss you guys. I end up, I don't know. There's something about it that I just love doing this. You know what I mean? So I love streaming with you guys and doing stuff. It's just YouTube makes it a little bit difficult sometimes. I don't know. I feel like they give me a bunch of issues for no reason, which I don't like. But besides that, I think we just have to deal with it because guess what? We're going to be doing it a lot. So, yes, honest opinions. Thanks, Leet. It's kind of a breath of fresh air when you actually hear honest opinions these days because you never really know what you're getting from a lot of people. And that goes for, I don't know, a lot of different things. Oh, look at that. So apparently I opened up the wrong one. So what's really nice is that even the ICEGIANT is slacker proof. So they give you one bag that has all the Intel stuff and one bag that has the AMD stuff. These guys are geniuses over there. Like, I feel like one of the biggest problems with coolers is when you try to mount them. Because they have... I feel like directions and direction quality is just not good. So... this is actually really nice. So we're going to get a splitter. So what we're going to do is, I think we have 2 splitters, don't we? Or am I missing something? I thought there was 2 splitters on this. Where is it? Oh, okay, yeah. So there's actually 2 splitters. So you have 1 splitter. You end up going into, you need 2 basically. This goes so that way you can put these all together. And I'm dropping and breaking stuff. Oop. I don't even know where that came from. I don't know. We're breaking stuff already, which is fun. So we have a splitter here, which is good. Pwm Splitter. So basically you can just put them down to, I think, one header. I think they'll all go down to one header, and then you could just put it on your CPU. On your CPU header. And then we got, look at this. They even tell you, which is really nice, which one is which. Because I don't know about you, but I've gone through a lot of directions before. And when I go through all the directions, like, you're trying to find the screws and everything, it's kind of like a nightmare. So, TechTuber reading the instructions, destined for greatness. Yes, I said slacker proof. So I should keep my R80 for now. My R80. What are we talking about, our R80? 580? 580s are fine, but they're a little on the weak side. I don't know if you want to get it like more manly, I guess. 580's old news, man. Some old stuff. But anyways, so we got all the screws ready because it's all documented good. So what's cool about this cooler, I mean, it really doesn't take much. So brace or bracket. Directions. Amazing. Whoa, 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 right there. So that's the only bracket we need, and those are the screws we need. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And let's see. What's cool is it actually tells you how to do the mounting bracket too. So right here it says to do the inside holes, spacers over the stock motherboard. So here's the other one. Now, I know it's kind of be like, oh, he's reading directions and stuff, but you know, most of the time I don't ever do this. Most of the time I'll tell you what it is, but I feel like these directions are on point. Like, it tells you directly what you need to do, and I feel like a lot of products, this is where they fail. They get all excited about showing off a product and so happy about the product, and then it basically comes down to ruining directions. Jim Hurley, no question. I just enjoy the live content. Well, Jim, I miss you, bud. How's it going? Thanks for the 20 bucks. And I miss you guys, too. I feel like live streams are just so much fun. It's just sometimes coming up with ideas for live streams. I don't know. It gets a little bit nuts. I wish Kingpin's pots came with instructions. Technically, they should come with instructions because from what I've seen, not many people know how to use them. And I mean, not like to be mean or anything, is that sometimes it's a little bit difficult, like when you torch the pot to understand a bunch of different stuff, right? How about 5900X? I wish I had a 5900X. I only have a 5800X. So I've heard some good stuff. You already used the thermal place of the Nachua. Is it good? I haven't used it yet. I'm gonna try to kick off some videos. I know I've talked about this for the past couple weeks, I think, doing paste videos. So I'm coming up with a format now to basically, so I might as well let it out of the bag now, is basically, so with this AMD setup, I'm actually going to be testing all the pastes. So we're going to be going through a paste test on this setup, so that way we can basically make sure everything's good. So I want to have a good test bench setup. So, before I do any of the paste testing, I need to come up with like a good baseline. So what we're going to do is basically go through this and get everything dialed in, get it onto good base settings, make sure everything's working right, and then we can do paste tests from there. So that way we can come with a bunch of different stuff. Like we can come, dude, I literally have a box of pastes. I like 40 different pastes. So to compare all of them, I feel like I could split a paste up to like a short 3-minute video every time. So that's going to be the goal. And yeah, so just make sure you like and subscribe. Let's see how many likes we got now. So we got more viewers than likes. So you guys better jump up them likes right now, because you're discouraging me here. Come on, get them likes up there. We got a bunch of people here. We're having a good time. It's been a long time since streams, so we got to keep on going with this stuff. So yeah, looks like we're gonna have to take the board off. I don't know if you guys know, but or do this, but I always have this tendency where... Here, let me fix this real quick. Just give me 1 second. I want to get the camera so it's a little bit more oriented so you guys can see. I kind of have a new setup. There we go. Get a better view. I figured you guys couldn't see too much over here, so I want to make sure they have every... Oh, there we go. Already liked? Yes, I know you could only like once, which is kind of a bummer, but hey, what are you going to do? So, yeah, we got the Dark Hero over here, and I don't know if you guys... What I was talking about is, I have this tendency, like, I'll end up mocking up the motherboard, and then I'll put everything there, and then all of a sudden I'll remember that I gotta change out the cooler or put the cooler on, because I don't know, I just always put the chip in and it looks nice and everything, and then I realized that I totally messed up because I have to take the whole motherboard out again. So I have this tendency now, what I do is I only put 2 motherboard tray screws in, so that way I don't have to undo like 30 screws to do it. So I have a tendency to maybe only put like 4 in, depending on how heavy your setup is. Especially with this big cooler, I highly recommend filling all of them, depending on your setup, especially if it's an angled setup like this. So, nice mouse pad. Yes, I like it too. All right, so let's see. Let's go back over to the other view for a second. But yeah, so I think we're gonna have to open up the chip. Open up the chip first. Oh, you know, I've been like... This is such an awesome chip, the 5950X. Think about it. This chip is the chip that pretty much is just showing how AMD has come back so far. And it's impressive to be like kind of part of it, to just watch it go through, you know. It's interesting to see like what they come up with in the future. And it also is, when there's such a, I don't know, when you have competition like between Intel and AMD, I feel like there's so much PC stuff that, like, I don't know, it's almost like mind-numbing. Well, nice, Bobo. Where's the electricity in that thing? I don't know, we gotta turn it up. Or turn it on. I'm getting there, I know I'm slow. I'm trying to talk through, it's been a while. We got so much to talk about. Important Reeve. Alright, so it tells me I gotta flash the BIOS, so I think this thing should be ready with it from the factory. If not, I'd be highly disappointed in Asus. Which wouldn't be the first time I'm disappointed in a motherboard vendor for not having a BIOS that works. You'd be surprised how often that happens, actually. AMD is garbage for drivers. Oh, yeah, that's another topic of conversation. Over the years, AMD has been very difficult with their drivers. I don't know. I can't really comment on that because we got to build the AMD system before we get to the driver part. But I do feel your pain. AMD and the drivers over the years has been a real pain point. I know just like doing like several mining setups, just trying to get drivers to work on Windows is an absolute pain in the butt. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this beautiful 5950X in. I'm just trying to match up where we're supposed to go here. My eyes have, as I get older, my eyes are going a little bit. All right. So let me just pop this puppy in here. We're not going to pull a Roman and drop everything. That's typical German thing to do, is just drop stuff. What was that? So most of the time, bad drivers... Nah, that's not always true, though. Because a lot of the time, to be honest, trust me, I've been doing IT work for over about 20 years. And, like, say when Vista came out and we had... everybody would complain that Vista was a problem, It was actually technically the graphic drivers. So NVIDIA and AMD, they changed the way... Microsoft changed the way the way that things worked. And caused a bunch of issues. But, to be honest, they should have done that. NVIDIA and AMD need to get their driver game on and stop messing around. So look at that. We got Ryzen. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Windows and drivers is, and it depends on which versions too. So that is so pretty. So it's gonna be funny because I feel like this cooler is gonna like take over the whole board. Oh, there we go. So the thing is with AMD's backplate, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let's see. So one of the things with AMD's backplate, you see this? So this cooler basically uses its stock. So what we're gonna do is just put it in the holes, put it in the hole, and that way it's resting on it, and that way I don't have to mess with it at all. So what we're gonna do is now we're gonna use some paste, because obviously we have to have paste down. And I really don't know what this piece came off of. Interesting. But yeah, hopefully it wasn't my audio setup. Dropping stuff is more LTT style. Greetings from Germany. I'm just kidding, I'm part German too. Only the good side. Let's see. What we need? Paper towel. We need the cooler. Look how big this thing is. I love it. It's basically cooler built after me. So usually what I do is, I wonder if we can, let me just change one. Here, let's just turn up the light a little bit. Let there be light. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to end up cleaning it up a little bit using that CRC. This is the good stuff. Highly recommend it. Use it all the time. We have buddies from Team AU. We used to call it magic spray because it's like magic. It works so good. And what I'll do is I'll use that for all my cleaning. So usually what I'll do is to make sure there's any oil from my fingers or anything. And we'll just clean it off and make it look nice and pretty. So we got that. So now we got to end up putting this monster of a cooler. So from what I see on the directions, basically it's supposed to sit like this. So you're going to have your little adapter. So we put these they're like little standoffs, if you can see. Little standoffs. So you put them one at each corner. It's relatively easy. I like coolers that are can't even speak today. Relatively easy to install. Because if you don't have to worry, if they're easy to install, you don't mess up the mount. The mount is one of the most important things with, I don't know, with anything on cooling. You want to make sure that you have a good bond between your cooler and your CPU. So let's see, what paste are we going to use? We're going to use some Kingpin. Oop. Gotta be careful as I almost run over my Voodoo Apex. To be honest, that board's been a big pain in my butt anyway, so I'm not sure it'd be a bad thing. I'm just kidding. It's a great board. To be honest, it's back to life. I haven't had one issue in like 2 weeks now. It's just weird. Going from having an issue for every 2 hours to 5 days, and then all of a sudden it works again. Where did I put that? I want to say... Oh, there it is. We're going to use a different one. So we're going to end up using KPX. Focus. What are we talking about, focus? We are focusing, my friend. Trying to get paste. So we got Kingpin KPX paste. I don't even know what that means. Move the AIO. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I was looking at paste. I thought the other one was on. There we go. See, that's not even what we were talking about anyway. So, see this? This is Kingpin KP paste. KPX. It's actually really good paste. It's one of the best I've actually seen or used. Like, it's the best one that I usually test. I did a test between Thermal Grizzly and this. I just have not, I don't know, done the full video yet, so I'm not going to tell you about it. Just know that this is good stuff. It's definitely good stuff. So, here, before you guys have fits on the focus area, we'll just go like this. Look at that. Amazing. Oh, that's right, we can't do auto. Yeah, there we go. So what we're going to do is we got the kingpin paste. We're going to do that. Oof. I agree. Remove adhesive prior to installation. It's funny. You know, it's funny that people like laugh about that. That like, you know how many, I've actually done it myself on an AIO. So like, never laugh about something because you know what? You might actually end up doing it yourself. It's kind of funny. Now we're just going to spread, just put a nice thin layer. Most people like to do, I usually do an X one also, like either way. I feel like if I do an X on AMD, what happens is when you take off the cooler, it's hard to get the CPU. You have more likely of a chance of actually damaging the CPU, because when you do an X pattern, it actually sucks out all the air, and it literally bonds with the cooler. But with AMD, you want to be careful with that, because it ends up, when you pop the cooler off, you got to be really careful on damaging the CPU, because a lot of the times the CPU comes off the cooler. So the video is undeliverable. I don't even know what that is talking about. Oh, it's not me. R.I.P. Strim. No idea what he's talking about. But yes, so we got the blue stuff on. Got the KPX. Now, if you ever get the KPX stuff, this is any type of paste you get, you want to make sure that you have a package like this and that you keep it in the package. From what I found is that basically if you don't do this, the paste will dry out and you'll have a lot of issues. So you want to be careful with your paste, because when you have dry paste, like a lot of the times the paste doesn't work as well. So to keep it all nice and creamy, make sure you just keep it in here. Let's see. Do you know how long Roman's new Grizzly is released? So I have his the new Grizzly and stuff, and I haven't tested it on air yet. That's going to be one of the videos when we do a paste roundup. I wasn't too impressed with it on liquid nitrogen, but I also had some mount issues, so I don't know. I can't really say that it was Grizzly or just me not tightening down the right one. So, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Just give it a little twist when you take it off when using the X method. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. Stream not loading for me. Everything else works. I don't know, man. Everything says, as much as OBS says good, YouTube says good, not much I can do. Actually, let me move this around. Actually, YouTube's not even telling me anything, like usual. But anyway, let me just refresh that real quick. I think that's pretty good. There we go. YouTube is finally working again. Sweet. So that's the first part, right? We got the paste applied there. We have the standoffs going on. And what we have to do is we basically have to put this bracket on, right? So if you look here, what we have to do is we have to take this bracket and we put it on here, right? Let's see, actually, let me make sure that that's the right way. Because it says outside holes or inside holes. Does it matter which side? Nope, it looks like either side is good. So you'll see right here is that you have TRX4, so basically anything Threadripper is the outer holes, and then everything for what's it called, AM4 is the inner holes. So it looks like it could pretty much go either way, because the CPU is going to mount, or the cooler itself is going to mount to these two screws. So we can just basically put this down. There. Trying not to knock it over. So there's basically a little groove on each one. So you'll see that they fit in the groove a little bit, I think. If I want to say correctly. Oh, it's hard to see. There we go. Yep, there's a little groove that it fits in. So there's just a little groove. Oh yeah, it'd help if I did the inner ones like I said I was gonna do. So inner, inner, and inner. Oh, this one's not in. Come on, get in there. There we go. Yeah, so they're on. So basically, you just rest it on there. X generally gives better IHS coverage. Yep, I totally agree. It's to be honest, you'd be surprised. I've gotten mounts that are good both ways. I like the X pattern. It's just with this one, this cooler is a little interesting, so you want to be a little careful. The mount is robust, exactly. So we got that part. So the next part is we got to put the screws in. So relatively simple. Screw, put in hole. Where's the screwdriver? So we just pop this on. One of the reasons why I like this cooler so much is because of the mounting mechanism. And this is where I feel like a lot of companies fail dramatically. Because if it's hard to mount, that means most likely you're going to kill your stuff. Or you're not going to get a good quality of pretty much anything. What is this? Something wrong, can't see the stream. That's weird. I think you're the only one. Make sure you F5 because YouTube's telling me it's good. Just make sure you like and subscribe. I would say jump back. The new paste is called Cryonaut Extreme. I bought a tub of it and waiting for delivery. Yes, I have it. It's basically pink. So you know how KPX is blue. Basically, the cryo, so regular Thermal Grizzly cryo is pretty much gray. You have Hydro, which is his water version, which if you're going to use Thermal Grizzly, I would say use Hydronaut over Cryonaut because that's what it's made for, and it is better, just from my initial testing. I haven't tested on LN2 like each one. I mean, it's not meant to for LN2, so why really test it, right? The Cryonaut Extreme, the pink stuff, I'm going to do a test on water to see how good it is, but again, that's a different video. But I think with that stuff, we're going to have to do like a review on liquid nitrogen, so we're going to have to figure out something on that. So, but yeah, so we now mounted the cooler. And I think what we're going to do is we'll put it back on the little bench board here. These are cool. I just like to have everything organized as long as you keep everything like off the floor or stuff like that. I'll have multiple of these setups around. So if I want to play with like Threadripper, I just grab one, throw it on the bench setup. Or if I want to grab like Xeon, then I just grab the board and throw it on the setup. So that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve here with these little acrylic motherboard trays. It just makes it a little bit easier and organized. It gives you, I don't know, as benchers, we've put stuff on like cardboard boxes and done all sorts of crazy stuff. So this is just trying to make it all look nice and clean and stuff like that. So I just finished watching a stream on YouTube. Yes, I'm going to be live for a while, to be honest. I want to get this setup going so that way we can do a lot of videos on this setup. So, but yeah, if you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to be doing lots of AMD stuff. Seems like everybody's played out on the 3090 stuff, so I feel like, I don't know, I'm kind of bored myself with it. Like, it sucks being a YouTuber, and not that I've been getting samples. Pretty much everything you see here is not a sample. So you can't say that, like, I've literally went out and searched, bought it, tried to figure out where it is, all that stuff. So, but if I feel bad because I have connections and ways to do it, so I feel kind of bad. Yes, I've tried Cryo Extreme. Hey, Joe, how's things? Man, they're going. You building your editing rig, Joe? Yes, but we're going to do Threadripper for that. I think I've decided with the Threadripper build that we're just going to go with 32 core for now. So I've talked to AMD. They're going to be sending me a 32 core and a 64 core. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the 32 core for the editing rig. And then I'm going to do the 64 cores so that way we can do some really good, I don't know, we'll do some extreme stuff with that. So, but when we retire the 64 core, that 64 core is going to replace the 32 core in my editing box. So, but yes, I work at Micro Center now. I always recommend Thermal Grizzly to people. Well, be careful recommending Thermal Grizzly to a point. Because, like I said before, cryo is not really good on air or water. Like, it's good on liquid nitrogen, but it's not really good. Thermal Grizzly Hydronaut is way better than Cryonaut is. Now, Cryonaut Extreme is something else. So you just gotta, it depends on what you want to do. But anyway, so my 3970X can do 4 or 5 gigahertz all core. Yeah, that's what mine will do. Well, I have an ES chip now, so my chip will basically do that. But I can't even do anything with it, which is, ugh. Yeah, LN2 Threadripper. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll do 64 core. It's just I'm waiting to get a 64 core and then we'll do it. So I can't do it with, so. But yeah, let's get to the, let's mount this cooler. Let's see what issues maybe kind of come up for it. It looks like everything's fitting real nice. I mean, here, well, if I show you the cam on there, I mean, it looks really, really good. Like, I really dig this board. Like, I feel like this board is just absolutely gorgeous. It's got the black Dark Hero look. It almost looks like a Marvel character. So maybe the Dark Hero is pretty much set up for it. I like the Rogue, the silver and the Rogue up there. I mean, it looks nice. The Nachua NH2, really good. Yeah, I haven't actually tested it. I've heard good things about it. But like I said, we'll be doing paste videos. This is going to be the start of the paste videos. So from this baseline, once we figure everything out, I'm going to just start replacing paste and then seeing which stuff's going on, you know? But yeah, so let's see. If we look at the directions, what are we doing over here? So we got the mounting bracket installed. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm missing. It basically just goes over, we took out the AM4 blah, blah, blah. Can't talk for anything. Now, what's really cool about this cooler, too, is that, like, you can literally use this on pretty much anything. So, you can use it on the Intel chips if you want to do the small socket. You can use it on the big Intel chips, the big socket. This cooler is so flexible. This is pretty much why I want it to, or why I like it as my bench setup, because I can literally put this thing on everything. So, I mean, what more do you want? I want something that has the flexibility to go to every single setup and work good. It's like putting a portable water cooling system. Just makes it easy. So, the battery position isn't the greatest. Goat Eater, what's wrong with the battery position? It could be underneath, I guess, but I don't think it's that bad. I don't know. I don't really like all the, like, I don't know, the motherboard stuff. Like, I feel like they do all these plates to cover stuff. I mean, cooler plates are not, these are nice for M2 drives, obviously. You got to keep them cool, right? But, I don't know. Do you put it on toast? You can try. I don't know if it's going to taste well. You're missing the red towels. That's a good, you know what? I need to find some red towels, because I usually try to do that. I'll try to do some blue stuff for Intel, and then I'll try to do red stuff. I'm going to see if I can find some red towels. But I don't know if they have some. If you have some, if you find them, make sure you send them to me. Make sure on the YouTube, just send me the red paper towels. Which you guys can send me stuff. If you guys want to send me paper towels, blue paper towels, anything, you guys can send it to me. With my address is basically in the YouTube. So you can check it out. Let's see. It says, I have an 8700K bottlenecking my performance with my 3080 FE. Which way would you go to resolve it? I don't know what your bottleneck is. It depends on what you're doing. The bottleneck shouldn't be that much. I mean, you're using Gen 3, so that really shouldn't be bottlenecked. I'm not sure what your issue is. I don't think you're getting really too bottlenecked. I would have probably upgrade the processor, motherboard. Go to new AMD stuff. Don't use Auto OC. Well, I've heard some people talk about the Auto OC on here, so that's going to be a topic of conversation for another day. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I don't know. You know how I always talk about. I hate using any type of dynamic OC or anything like that. I mean, it might be cool, I don't know, to some point, but I like to do things manually over here. You know, that's kind of how we roll. OC dynamically. I feel like that's just blasphemy, if you know what I'm saying. So, yes, everybody likes my 60. To be honest, this mouse mat is like one of my favorite mouse mats ever. I told Steve, I was like, you better give me one or you're gonna be in trouble because it's awesome. Anyone else use Thermalright TF8? I have that to test though. So yeah, rage mode. Will a 9700K be okay for a 3080? I think so for gaming and stuff. I don't think that would be bad. I meant for Z490. I'm not sure what that meant. OC Genie. What are you saying? I'm an OC Genie? Isn't that the old Asus tool? PBO is sometimes hit or miss. Yeah, PBO, I don't know. That's the other thing. Your address is in the YouTube. Be there in an hour. What's it called? So, but, oh man, what was I going to say? There's something I was going to say and I forgot. Now I forget. Yeah, we don't really use dynamic OC or anything right there. We'll probably test it. Oh, yeah, PBO. That's what it is. So, I'm not really, I don't know. Someone was telling me, one of my, so, might as well talk about Patreon. So, Patreon, if you want to support the channel, there's nothing better to do than to go on to Patreon and basically pay monthly. We have a Discord over there. I mean, it'll cost about $2. I was thinking of raising it to $5, but for now we're keeping it at $2. But we have a good community over there. If you're learning how to do a lot of stuff, you want to interact with a bunch of cool people, make sure you just subscribe on Patreon. Plus, I'm in there. I'll lurk a bunch of times, and if you ever have a question, I try to do as much as I can to answer what you need to. So, but yeah. So, but one of my Patreon guys or gals was talking about PBO, and actually how it was working actually pretty good or something like that. I don't know. That's what it was, is PBO. The one thing that I wanted to test is, I guess, apparently this generation, you can actually lower the voltage and PBO still works pretty well. So, I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that we can do. I don't know. This is the first time I'm touching anything that has to do with the 5 series. So, most of the stuff that you're going to be finding out, I'm just learning. So we basically learn together. I give you my insight on it, right? So yeah, the higher core counts see more benefit from PBO. Yeah, I think what they do is the way they do binning on AMD, the higher core count is you're going to have the best binned cores or CCDs that basically they're going to take priority or precedence over. So, but yeah. So I think what we're going to do is just mount the cooler. So there's not really much to do. Let's see. I want to make sure it says, if not done, previously apply release. I don't know what it's talking about. It just basically says, example with AMD, but installation is the same with Intel. Peel off adhesive sticker. See, it even tells you in there. Pull off the adhesive sticker. There's no excuses. You are a dumbass if you don't take it off. Well, and you know it's funny, I have done it myself. I know. It's terrible, but it is. Wrong. What is this? Interesting. Your curved PBO just 2 did it with fair and awesome. My UK water block leaked and wrecked one of my memory slots on the Strix X580 board. Oh, that sucks, man. There's nothing worse than having a leak on your water cooling. That's another reason why you buy this cooler. But to be honest, if you're going to be doing water cooling, you always want to make sure you tighten your blocks and go through them really good. So one lesson that I've learned over the years, especially with water cooling stuff, is make sure everything's tight. Go through all the different pieces and make sure like everything's snug. You don't have to over tight, but you want to make sure you do that because otherwise you're going to have leaks everywhere and you don't want to kill your stuff. I mean, especially now when there's so much like it's so hard to get certain things and like I mean it sucks. Imagine waiting like 6 weeks for a 5950X and you killed it because you had a leak on your water block. You don't want to go there, trust me. I've been in similar circumstances like that, and to be honest, it sucks. So, yeah, don't be that guy. You can always do leak testing. I highly recommend if you're going to do anything with water cooling, make sure you get a leak tester, because then you'll find these issues proactively instead of reactively. And being proactive is, in the water cooling world, is really where it's at. You want to be proactive with these type of things. So. What's the best graphic card to pair with an i5-10400 had to send back. I don't know. That's like kind of. I don't even think I have a 10400. I'm not so sure. Usually, if you want a game, just worry about graphics card. A lot of that stuff, it's not gonna matter so much. Let's see. So, where are we at now? So I peeled the sticker, and let's show you guys. So, sticker is peeled. Look at that. It's so shiny and pretty. So now what I'm gonna do, you guys can't see it, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray some CRC on there. I always like to try to get any like oil or anything that's off of everything, because it's just you want to make sure everything's nice and clean. So I always say, like, one of the things with paste that you always want to do is, it's kind of like, I don't know if you're ever on cars, if you ever worked on cars before and you get paint to adhere where you kind of want to scuff them up a little bit. I always want to, and you always want to make sure there's no oil or residue and stuff like that. So you want to go over, use your CRC, make sure you clean it really nice. And yeah, it is a beefy cooler. I'm telling you, this thing, it's so surprising how well this thing works with like Threadripper that like I'm super excited to see how 5950X is. I feel like this is almost like gonna be such an awesome setup. Like I'm getting all excited already thinking about it. So we ended up cleaning it. It's all pretty now. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna switch it back over to the other camera, get it a little bit closer. So what we're going to do is you have to orient it a certain way. So here, let me actually explain this a little bit more on the other camera. So you want to orient this a certain way. So we're going to be on a test platform or on a test bench. So it's going to be flat. So you're going to basically just put it like this, right? But what about those setups where you have to, so if you, for instance, are going to be in a desktop, right? Let me make sure that I'm getting this right because sometimes I mess it up. But when you're in a desktop, you're not going to have the motherboard tray sitting flat down. Now, this is really, 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 really important. And I do stress really. So, if you look here, again, in the directions, you'll see if the Elite is placed incorrect, CPU damage could occur. And the reason why is just how basically everything flows. So, you see down right here, the second X right here. Basically what they're saying is that if you have it like this, it's going to be a problem, right? You need to have it like this. So what you're going to do is when you have the motherboard in a desktop PC like this, you're going to put it up like this. And it has to be oriented like that, or it actually could kill your CPU because there's basically, I think it's basically like a chemical in there, and what it does is when it heats up, it basically goes in and it basically does a process of going through. So if you don't have it oriented right, it basically will cause a lot of issues. So make sure you do that. Like you heard it here, no excuses, just like peeling off the side. Just make sure you do it. Yeah, that is a very unfun way to damage a CPU. So, but yeah, you can see how big this thing is too. Look, I mean, look how large it is. Pretty cool. So what we're going to do is just put it on. So, I mean, it's a relatively simple cooler to work with. So what we're going to do is, you can see, what I'll do is, since it's pretty much heavy to the right side, let me make sure that I'm getting it right. You want to have to hold it. So what I recommend is, you see where my fingers are? So you want to hold down on there because it's top heavy on this side. So what it wants to do is it wants to lean on to the other side. Yeah, this is heat pipes basically on steroids is what it is. So and what's cool about it is we only have to do 2 screws. So you have this screw and then you have this screw. Now all you do is they give you this nice screwdriver, again, tool included, which I love, and good directions, which is awesome. Yeah, it boils and condenses and runs back as a liquid into the block. And it does the cycle. It's almost like a water cooler, but not using water. But what it does, I mean, it's an awesome cooler. So all you do is then we tighten up. So what I like to do is just to get it in, make sure we're screwing. So we got a little screwed in here. Let's just say the cooler's screwed, right? So what we do is just go a little bit harder. Do like a quarter turn on each side. Oop, we'll go a little bit more on that one. Nice. So there's not too much to it. The other thing I like to do is, so you get, oh, the cooler is getting, here, let's do this. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to show, there we go. So the cooler is now on. You want to make sure you tighten it pretty good. It's a huge vapor chamber. In a way, I think the vapor chamber works a little bit different. But, so you basically have the cooler on. And now you just tighten it down, right? So we're just going to tighten it down a little bit more. Now I just go a little bit on each side. Or I'll try to put my head down and see how even it is. What I'll try to do is wiggle it a little bit to see how it's in. So if it moves a little bit, yeah, I'm not worried about RAM. I'll put the RAM in after. Or we're going to try to put a RAM after. I'm doing that for a reason. Shh. Be quiet. But, yeah, so you wiggle it around to try to get some of the air bubbles out, right? So wiggle it a little bit. Just wiggle it just a little bit, right? And then you basically go through and tighten it up a little bit more. And you just keep doing it. Just wiggle a little bit until you basically can't wiggle it too much. That's usually what I do. Now, I know you guys are wondering about memory. So I don't really need to worry about it because I don't have like sticks that are... Okay, that one's all the way bottom out. And this one... It's funny. There we go. Bottomed out. So you can bottom out. And it's nice. See? Pretty cool. Now with RAM, so this is where your biggest problem is going to be, is the RAM. So to try to, actually let's put it over here. Explain. Yeah, you can see right here, of course the cooler is going to be, let's try to nail it like that. Here, let me just adjust the tracking, it's easier that way. There we go. So you'll see on the memory slots, now this is where most of the problems are going to be, and it depends on what memory you're using, right? Tighten until it squeezes. Then back off a quarter. Yeah, and this one I don't think it's too bad either way. Depending on the socket, maybe on the Intel I'd be a little bit more worried about it, but should be fine. Curing if you force out the extra paste. Not worried about curing. They seem to be running with this since the actual process takes a... It is liquid cooling, and they see... Whatever. But anyway, so, yeah. So one of the biggest problems you're going to have here is the room for your memory, right? So there's not much you can do. You can always take off your... the heat spreaders themselves, right? So... Actually, I completely forgot that I left them on the apex. So, let's do this. So luckily on my Apex, I have memory, which is actually really good memory. These are Samsung B dies. These are G-Skill Trident Z Royals, or Royal Z's, or whatever. I always butcher the name, but I should be able to fit them in there and not have to worry about it. Or am I overthinking this? I like the clear Mobo stand looks. Do you have the KP one? No. Well, I do have the KP one, but I don't like his standoffs. They're large. I like the smaller standoffs where it's like a little bit more slim underneath. Oh, let's see. So let's try to put the memory in there. I'm not going to put this on camera because it's just kind of a... I don't know. It's kind of hard to do. So I think one of the things that we may... I don't remember if it's is it the first slot or the third slot, or let's see. Again, if you don't know, read the manual. So one of the biggest things that people mess up on is when you do RAM, a lot of the times you put them in the wrong slots. So you need to make sure which slots you're putting in are the correct ones. So you'd be surprised. I've seen where if you put memory in the wrong slot for like single channel Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't. It depends on the manufacturer. But a lot of the times they'll have all the information for you. So it looks like if we're going to do 2 DIMMs, we want to make sure they're in the second. So DIMM B2 and DIMM A2. So I don't know if you can see this. Wait for focus. So you see right here, basically it says that we need to have the second slot and 4th slot. So from the CPU. So let's see, let me switch over. Wow, that's not a good view. So we have right here, basically we have to do the second slot from the CPU and the 4th slot. So we're going to put this memory. Now, don't mind these modules. These are a little dirty. There's a lot of... I was basically using them for lots of different things. They actually had... one of the reasons why they're all like kind of nasty is because I was putting heat spreaders, like custom heat spreaders on them for liquid nitrogen stuff, or just to keep memory warm. Like we do a lot of temp stuff, so having heat spreaders on allows you to control the temperature much easier sometimes. Let's see. Alright, so we have the second slot. Let's do the 4th. What RAM am I using? These are basically, if you guys have watched the video where I took off the heat spreaders off the Trident Z Royals, these are the modules that I did it on. So these are basically how if you saw, basically I used liquid nitrogen to take off the heat spreader. These are the modules that... They're still alive and kicking. Some people said, oh, don't do that. It's going to kill your mem. I've never had a module get killed that way. So, you take what you can. But yeah, so we have that. We got the cooler on. I think the only thing now we need to do... so, here, let me move that camera just a bit. Make it look a little bit better so you guys can see. There you go. Much better. I just got to the party. What are we building? So we got an all AMD test bench. We're just going for all sorts of craziness here. We're going to be doing 6900 XT. We're just going to be doing a lot on the AMD platform. So this is the initial setup to get it all working, getting it all set up. We're also using the new ICEGIANT cooler. Highly recommend it. I think what the actual name is... what is it called? The Pro Siphon Elite. Now, ICEGIANT was nice enough to send this over. This is a sponsored product, so you guys know. But with this product, I would buy this myself. Like, highly recommend it. I'm not just cool because they sent me them. I really do legitly like this cooler. Like, highly recommend it. It's the ICEGIANT. How come I can never remember the name? The Pro Siphon Elite. Pro Siphon Elite. Pro Siphon Elite. Yeah, it's a gorgeous cooler, and it's pretty much a monster. So, but we're still not finished with it. So, you have the one side done with the 2 fans over here, but now you need the fans on the other side. So, what I'm gonna do is I just put it in a push-pull format. So, basically, the air is going this way, right? So these are pulling, and these ones need to push. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up putting on like this. Let's see. Let's see how they did it first. So here. I know I did this on my last one. Let me take out all these wires and see where they go. I'm making an absolute mess here. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. We always got to get the likes up there. Help me out with the algorithm. If you want to break the algorithm more than anything, that's what you guys need to do. So, like I said before, is so we had these. Remember I was talking about these? So what you can do is, there's actually another one on here. So basically what you do is you daisy chain them. So this one goes to this one, and then this one goes to, let's see, this fan is connected to this dual fan. And then that dual fan goes to this one. And then this can go to your CPU connector. So they're all basically daisy-chained together. And we just got to put these on. So we got those. Make sure you can see. We're going to put this on. So remember, every time that you got to work with this, if you want to take off the cooler, you got to make sure you take off the two fans. So, but I mean, it's really nice. I want to actually test a couple things in the future. Number one, let's replace the fans with, like, say something like with deltas. I mean, I think that would be really cool. I mean, we're going to have some headphones and some stuff to play, but I feel like when you really start seeing this thing working, like, it's kind of amazing how well it works. It works just absolutely awesome. So, like, to see with, like, some really beefy fans could help it. I think the real reason why they went with the Arctic fans was for being quiet, I think. Because it is still going to be loud, so you don't want to... I mean, there's always that trade-off for, like, you want something where you can overclock, or you want something where you can, like, really push it extreme, but then you want it quiet. It's always that, like, balance of things where you're, like, I don't know. You got to, oh. Is that there? What is that? Oh, okay. Yeah, so there's a plastic piece that was supposed to go on there. But yeah, so we just need to put these fans on. Nacho makes industrial high power fans too. Yeah, but the thing is about, it's that loudness that you don't want to have. Like, to be honest, it gets annoying. Oh, so you guys know, I'm also gonna put, we gotta make sure we orient them right. So, I'm only going to put 2 screws in each, because I plan on taking this cooler off and on, off and on, off and on, doing a couple mounts and a lot of different things. So what we're going to do is basically, where usually you have 4 screws here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put 2 in each fan. I feel like it's really unnecessary to really put in that many. I mean, it's not like these fans are gonna blow off the system or anything. It's kind of I feel like it's kind of pointless to have all those screws in there, unless you just like tightening things for no apparently reason. They're not as loud as some Delta fans, dude. Some of the Delta fans, I wonder if I have some in the garage. I'm gonna have to look, because I had some Delta fans, man, that oof, they literally sounded like jet engines as soon as you turn them on. Like, they're like, I felt like we're going through a wind tunnel, like an airplane's motor's starting up. Like, it's quite ridiculous what they sound like. So what I'll do is I'll put this down here. We'll do that one down there too. Try to reduce some of the cabling. Again, I'm only going to put 2 screws in each. There's just really no reason to put more than 2 screws, especially since I'm going to take the cooler on and off. And to take the cooler on and off, you need to take the fans off. Otherwise, there's no way to access the screws. So, finger eaters. Yeah, those Deltas are definitely like rack mounts where, dude, like, not only would they kill your fingers, they would also kill your ears too. So, yeah, I mean, you can go Deltas, but I guarantee you'll get a headache after like 10 minutes. When I used to run a bunch of Delta, I actually did this on I don't know if you guys know the big Mora setups, like the big giant rads with where you can have, like, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 9 fans. I did one with all. I did a lot of them with, like, I did all Deltas, so basically had 9 fans. When you started that thing up, it was ridiculous. Like, to have it running, like, my ex-wife, she was my wife at the time, used to get annoyed. That's probably why I used them all the time, to be honest. But yeah, so we end up we got all these set up, so we got all these cables now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably use a zip tie. So you see them right here. Just put them together. And we're going to connect it to the... Actually, I need a zip tie somewhere. So that's the only thing they don't include here is zip ties, which I wish they would. It's probably the only thing that they're missing that they need. Let me grab one. Grab another one. Maybe I should use a rubber band or something. No. I'll use a twisty tie. I always try to keep all the twisty ties just in case for these. I use them for like case builds and stuff like that. They're just so useful, you know? Instead of using a zip tie where you have to cut it off, you can just use a twisty tie. Works good that way. Does anyone know the exact name of it? The Mora 3. Well, they had a Mora 2. I think that was a Mora 1. What are you talking about? Cables pinched. Wires pinched? What are you saying? Oh, I think you're right. Well, I hope I didn't ruin that fan. Let's see. Yeah, it's on the... No. Looks like the wire's fine. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, it just went under the side. So at least I didn't ruin the wire, which is a good thing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it was just the wire was definitely in the way. Yeah, so it looks like we're good now. Make sure I'll tighten the other side too. Like I said, only doing 2 per because, oh, yeah, I hope if I actually got it in the hole. You're welcome. Thanks, brother. Thin little wires. Yeah, because you don't... The reason why they're so thin is because you don't want to really... You don't need to push too much energy with these fans. Like, the whole key with these fans is to keep it on the quieter side. Now, like I said, we're going to end up upgrading these fans to see, like, how much different or how much better it works. But, yeah, these are pretty much... I highly recommend these for, like, a daily system. Like, where, like, if you're going to do editing or if you're going to do something else... these are not going to be your most beefy ones, but these are going to do better than some of the other ones I have. These are rated at 0.12 amps. The ones, I don't know if you guys know, but remember from when I did the NAS, basically those were like 0.01 amps. So 0.12 amps is actually pretty decent. So these fans are actually still pretty good. So you can't say it's better with no proof. Exactly. Keep getting errors trying to watch your show, yo. How are you getting errors trying to watch my show? Well, complain to YouTube. Make sure you complain to them. And I don't know. Sometimes YouTube does some funny stuff, man. It's kind of annoying. But anyway. So, yeah. So, oh. We got to basically find the CPU one. This is the one thing. Yep. CPU is the second one on this side. So, what we're going to do... Oh. Is we're just going to put the CPU, it's the second one, so this is the CPU op fan, this is the regular CPU fan. And the reason why I'm going to put this CPU, the CPU in one, or CPU one, is because when the default on Asus boards is that they'll end up yelling at you unless you do it. They'll basically say, you basically do, I have to hit F1 or something like that. So usually what I do is I always put the CPU one in there. We always get that complaint when on liquid nitrogen because we don't have any fans on, or if we're using a different fan header or something. So are those fans like EK Vardar fans? I'm not sure. I'd have to check out look at the Vardar fans. I don't think these are 0.12 amps. I think the Vardar fans are a little different, so it's hard to compare. I'd have to do some type of fan shootout. I don't know. I think that's something else, probably for another channel. For everyone who's getting errors, I'm watching the stream now via Steam chat, and you sent one of my favorites the link, and I'm able to watch it. Just YouTube things. Yeah. I feel like it's YouTube because I mean we have everything pretty much dialed in. We had issues when we first started the stream. That's because I changed it for 4K. I actually completely forgot that I changed. I was trying to give you guys some high definition, like some crazy high def 4K goodness, and YouTube was not allowing it. So, which is kind of bummer. No, they are Arctic fans. Did I say they were Arctic fans, or I don't know. I look massive on a 65-inch TV. I bet, man. I have a 70-inch over there. I bet you I'm just like... You can see the beard in all its glory. Stream is epic now. I appreciate it. One is better for pushing air in tight spaces, and one is more optimized for airflow. Yeah, I guess we're... whatever we're talking about, but... So, yeah. So, we got the cooler down. I think we have pretty much everything set up. As far as... CPU, motherboard, we got memory. I'm just going to be using SSDs for my bench setup, so we're not going to be doing an M2 drive. I think maybe we should use M2, start using M2s. I don't know. It says I was just standing in front of the TV and you scared me. Well, I'm a pretty big dude, so... I don't know. I once had a guy tell me at Computex, this Asian guy. He's like, I was actually wearing my Viking helmet, and he's like, why? I'm like, why not? I was like, why not wear a Viking helmet? He's like, if I saw you in a dark alley, he's like, I would totally run away. I was like, well, if you saw me in a dark alley, I would probably run away too. Like, what is the? I don't know. People are funny sometimes. Speaking of Computex, I miss Computex. Oh, Arctic fans are good. Sorry if worded that wrong. No, I don't know. I don't know what your question was. It wasn't anything Gator. But no, I was what you said something about EK or something. I don't know. I'm doing so many things over here. I lose my train of thought. So yeah. So we got the cooler and everything set up. It's looking mighty good. Now we need to go GPU time. So this is going to be fun because this thing, I don't know. If you guys saw my AMD watch party, I was actually pretty stoked about this. I was really surprised because, to be honest, when I first saw the AMD Radeon 6900 XT, remember they teased the 6800 XT, and then they're like, wait a second, and I was like, no way. I was like, that is pretty awesome because I get to play with it. Because that's what I was thinking. As soon as that thing was there, man, I was like, I want one. Give me one. Give me one of these. Like, I needed it. Just one. Just put it on the beard. Yeah, it's very nice. I don't know. There was just something about this, and not to put anything like down on the 3090. But to be honest, I was actually more excited about this than the 3090. And, like, no joke, like, this was, like, my internal belief. So when I saw this, I was very excited. So I'm really stoked to be able to open this because I have not opened this yet. And if you ask me, if you vote for what I think is the best-looking cooler, breaking out the knife. I feel like this GPU cooler, stock cooler, is probably the most good-looking GPU there is. It's pretty awesome. And no, you cannot trade me a 3080 for the Win 3 Ultra for that, because I have one right here. I have one of those too. But this one is to play. That one, that's actually what I run in the daily. I have the 3080 for the Win 3 Ultra for the daily system. Basically the stream setup you have right now. So when I do my editing, my big editing box, we're gonna probably change that. I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm gonna put on for my editing box yet. So we'll have to figure that out. Yeah, well, the thing is trying to get one of these has really been so much harder. Ooh, this thing is dope. I like it. Yeah, to be honest though, like, if not to say anything bad about the 3080s or the 3090s or anything like that, but this was so much harder to get. Looks like my package was damaged. How funny is that, huh? This goes to show you. Remember, all this is bought retail. Oh, I guess this is just... It's a strange way to pack it. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but this is a little interesting. So I guess you just peel that back. And to be honest, I thought it would be bigger. That's what she said, right? But yeah, so let's move this box out of the way. Again, this is like, you're getting a bunch of treats here. Like, I'm unboxing so much. Ooh, it is pretty. Look at that. Oh, I really, to be honest, I dig the look. It is tiny, though. Like, the reason why I say tiny is basically, like, I don't know. Are you people still scoring GPUs off your Discord alerts? I don't think so, but I know I have a couple of GPUs for sale if you guys want to buy them in that Discord. So, but let me just compare. I want you guys to see how big a 3090 Strix is compared to this. So, let's see. It's kind of funny. The 6900 XT looks like a baby. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the difference. Tell me, like, it's so funny. It says, do the top of the box have the keycap in it? Keycap? What is the keycap? Did I miss something? Was there supposed to be something in there? I don't know. I threw the box over there. What is this? Did I miss something? Look at this guy over here bragging he got to pay retail. Just kidding, just kidding. Actually, like, I just got lucky on this one. It was so hard to get this. The Strix were much easier. I actually, if you were roaming around and trying to find cards, I mean, there's ways to do it. These are retail. I bought these retail, so I didn't get anything. So, gotta chill. Oh, I need an Epic processor. Well, I have a 64 car. So, but isn't it huge? Like, look how much bigger the Strix is than this. Like, seriously? It's kind of funny. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I expected this to be just as big as this. So it's kind of funny to see, and especially in my hand. Like, my hand is bigger than it. But to be honest, this thing is good looking. Like, I would say that it's probably the best looking GPU, stock GPU there is, by far. Like, I like it. I just think it, like, to me, I feel like I could put this in a system just as is. Like, I just think it's gorgeous. I mean, it's just a good-looking card. Like, if you compare it to, like, the old days with, like, the old AMD setups, man, they were ugly. Like, ugly. But, like, I don't know. They've come a long way. So this one's pretty good-looking. This is, I definitely say this is a highly beautiful GPU. I really, I don't know. I'm excited to play with it. I'm excited to take it apart. For now, like, I also didn't tell you guys, I have a lot of water cooling gear just for, I don't even have any water cooling gear for 3090s, but I have water cooling gear for this and also for this setup. So what we're going to end up doing is we'll do air setups for now and we test, but then we're going to move on to some water cooling gear because I got some badass water cooling gear. So. But yeah, it says, nah, the 3080 Founders are better looking. You think? I don't know. The 30... You know what it is what kills it for me with the 3090? Don't get me wrong. I think the 3090 is good looking too. But it's also as big as this. To be honest, I kind of like and dig that it's a little bit smaller and it's compact. Like, just because it's small doesn't mean... This thing's heavy, though. To be honest, I feel like this is actually way heavier than it looks. So, but yeah. So the whole thing with the Founders Edition is their power placement. Like, I feel like they royally messed up, big time, on what they were like doing with it. So, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of what they did with the power on the 3090 Founders. I feel like they just could have done a better job. I mean, it's just that with that stupid piece that's like right on the top, like right here, right in the middle, like it's like an eyesore. Like, I feel like anybody who designed that, it's just, I don't know. It's just stupid. I don't know. I know Cable Mod makes some cool stuff for it where, like, you can just get a cable that works, you know. It says you got the EK AMD water cooling weapon case. Sparkmark. Man, you're on point. You basically caught that out. Yes, I did. I got a big... when I release that, I want to kind of do my own thing because I have some cool stuff with it. So, But yeah, that's pretty funny that you called it out, man. You definitely aren't slacking, my brother. But yeah, so let's see. We have, man, these cards is really gorgeous. Like, this one was so hard to get that, like, I don't know. I've been holding off on actually opening it. Like, a lot of the times I get myself kind of like bummed out because I want to make sure like I open it in front of you guys. So there's a lot of times where I have stuff that just sits and I just look at the box and I'm like, I just want to check that out. And I'd rather do it in front of you guys. Nope, the stream is still up. Everything's green on my side. Make sure you hit F5. Yeah. But yeah, so... yeah, so we basically get, what, 3 HDMIs. This is where it's interesting when you compare, like, most of the cards. This is why I do like the Strix. The Strix, basically, you get 5 HDMIs, right? 5. Looks like you get 3, or maybe, hold on, I butchered that. Never mind. So you get 2 display ports and 2 HDMI, and I think I butchered that on the Strix too. And it looks like, what, you get, yes, oh my gosh, what is it called? USB Type-C. So, check it out. Why is this so difficult? Difficult! I'm getting tired. There we go. Ooh, autofocus is not my friend today. But yeah, there's no good thermal pad tests out there. Would it be dope to where you can actually die? The problem is so say if I wanted, not to say that it's a bad idea, but for me to do thermal pad tests, number one, I have to get all of the thermal pads that I can. Trying to find some of that stuff and trying to get it within like timing, that's what killed my paste video. Every time that I came out, I found new pastes that I want to do, and now I got a box of like 50 pastes, and it took forever to get them. It's cool for new videos that we're going to be coming out with, but it's kind of also a pain in the butt. But I'll take notice and I'll do some researches. If you can, make sure you comment in the video, like which thermal pads you guys like. So that goes for everybody. Like, you guys let me know what kind of thermal pads you want to test, because I'm down with doing some stuff like that. But it's not going to be something that's going to be done right away. You know, it's going to be something in the future. And like I said, we're doing 1 week. Every week we're going to be doing something. So if it's a stream or a video, I'm just trying to push content while I can for you guys, you know. It's tough having a regular job working in info security, so it's just how life is, you know. The Type-C is a headset. I don't know, I don't really use Type-C for anything, except for my new phone, which I was kind of pissed about because Apple, I don't know if you buy a new iPhone, you can tell, like, basically they give you the iPhone connector, which I can't remember what the name of it is, to a USB-C. It's kind of just annoying. Just annoying. So you have no video either? What is the deal? That's so weird. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm just talking. But let's put this thing together, because I'm going to get in the BIOS and start playing a little bit. And let's kind of go over some BIOS settings. I feel like every time we stream, we always get to that point where we've just played with everything, but we've never really got everything, I don't know, fully done and more explained. So let's get the GPU in here, because this board is crying for it. I'm so excited. I want to see how this 5950X is going to handle this. And then this 6900 XT, I'm so excited. It's so weird to say, because I have tested the hell out of 3090, and it's strange to say that I'm more excited about this. Oh, look at that. I just love the look of this GPU. I just feel like it's so good looking. Oh, for a stock card. It's funny because this the Pro Siphon Elite looks so much bigger. That's what she said. Let's go. All right, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to bring this over to the setup. I don't have a camera over there. So what's kind of cool is I basically have, I have the setup that's over there, but that's like 8 to 9 feet away. I have the cameras, so you have the one camera here and the one camera that's down here. And so I'm just going to basically put the setup over there and hook up the power connectors and just boot it up. So I have another keyboard and mouse that's wireless where I can control from here, and then we basically just work off the screen. So you can basically see everything that's there. So just bear with me for a second as we go and try to play. Maybe we should try music again. You guys want to hear some music? We got some epidemic sounds going. Before it was, I thought it was music causing issues before, but I don't think it is. Can you guys let me know if you guys can hear the music? I know it takes a little bit to go in, but before we do this, it says, you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. I'm the guy that you probably should worry about. Just kidding. Oh, see that camera? Yeah, how loud is the music, though? That's kind of what I want to go. Does it need to be turned up a little bit, or does it need to turn a little bit down? Now, this music is brought to you by Epidemic Sounds. It is basically royalty-free music, but I obviously have to pay for it, so anytime you help and subscribe, that helps too. Any type of views or anything is good. I'm gonna have to watch the VOD because I can't seem to get the live feed. That's strange that some of you guys. Tunes are perfect volume. Thanks, Maureen. You appreciate it. So I'm gonna step away real quick. I'm just gonna go right over there. I'm not going far. A little more up. I kind of want to hear a little bit more. Let's see. I'm just gonna put it up just a tiny bit. Good balance. Well, I was just putting some metal on right now. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. I don't know. Just give me a bit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go over there, try to enjoy it. I just hear some drums and faint growling. That would be metal, slacker. We're trying to get some energy here. We want to have lots of fun. So let me go over to the side. Let me get this all running. It won't take long. I promise. Power up. Alright, we're getting set up. I'm ready to boot it up. Alright, we're getting there. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, power up. Alright, there we go. So what's up, slackers? We're back. We got it all set up now. Let's see. You guys just want me to turn it up, the music. Then some others get pissed off about it. It's kind of funny. Alright. Oh, this is a pretty good song. This is like one of my favorites. I'm trying to give you guys some good slackness, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let me get the... Oh, that's one thing I forgot to do. I need to put to the little USB wireless device. That way I can manage it from here. So we've got that part. And that way I can sit in my chair and hang out with you fine folks. So let's see. Let's go over to the machine and check it out. So look at that. New CPU installed. Please enter the setup to configure your system. Okay, so usually here, remember when I told you about that F1 where you usually have to hit the CPU fan? So this is a different one. This is obviously a brand new CPU, so boom. We are going to go in. Temperature seems to be running pretty hot. 50C, but I think that's pretty much average on most of the chips, isn't it? I heard the 5950X, doesn't it run really hot? Now that 1.45 core voltage is like absolutely ridiculous. So let's go through some of the base set. Well, we probably should just upgrade the BIOS right away. Yeah, the blue Kingpin paste you can buy it pretty much anywhere. It's called Kingpin Cooling KPX. Metal is life. Less slacking, more computerin'. No one who likes the music would ask you to turn it down. It says the music is good where it is because we can hear it and hear Joe. Good, that's well the whole point. I feel like sometimes it's hard to give that like good balance and it will drive you nuts. So, let's see. That's weird. Huh. Okay. So, we're running at 50C, which I'm not necessarily I like. Oh. Hold on, I gotta turn off my light. It's like totally blinding me. You guys can't see, but let's see. Let's see if I can find my... Hold on one sec. It's not there. Oh, yes, we have this issue now. So, when we switched from 4K... There we go. So, we went front with overhead. I think... No. Yeah, I gotta fix a couple things. So basically what happened is since we went to 4K, it caused a bunch of issues. Did you see mountain monsters? Is the Kingpin thermal paste worth it? Of course it's worth it. No, it's actually really good. Actually really good. Let's see. Alright, so we're going to go through some basic settings. If you guys want to join in and have some fun with it, I mean, you guys are more than welcome. If you guys want to check out and... What's it saying? Oh, want a good music, volume, balance. Beard talks too much, then. You bastards. Alright. So, I think what we're going to have to do is try to look up a BIOS for this thing. It's running pretty hot. Let's play with the existing BIOS to see what's going on. Basically go through a couple things. It's always fun. Only gonna be 8 episodes. That's always a bummer. When you want something and you wait for something, you always want a lot of it. Alright, so we're just gonna keep that on auto. Core ratio, auto. What I wanted to try to do is keep all this. This is some of this. I just want to basically just try a couple things. So usually the things that I go through and I test, and the first things that I go and mess with is like CPU load line. Problem is I hate when they do auto and level because then you don't know what's going on. I always bump up the current capability, which is like the normal. Switching frequency, you can go manual on these usually. Auto is probably good enough. Depends on what you want to do. Load line calibration is probably one of the... And current capability are the ones that you want to basically always change. Even with like DRAM, you want to up the switching frequency. You want to update the current capability, stuff like that. I'm not going to go too much in these because... What happened there? Oh, just make it 130. Power phase control, extreme. Let's see. Core voltage, 144. That is so high to me. Well, I don't understand why it would need 144. So if we did like 1.3, I bet you it would boot. So what we'll do is we'll change. So just by setting 1.3 is probably not going to do it. What you usually have to do is when you go into the power settings, when you set the load line calibration, so load line calibration is like where's the actual voltage going. I don't know if level 2 is up or level, I don't know. We'll just go level 2, see what it does. We're gonna update this to 140 and T-Road extreme. Power phase control, we'll go extreme. Thermal control, I think 120 is just basically how hot. So let's just try to boot and see if it's, one of the things that you basically can do is lower your voltage to get lower temperatures. That's kind of like one of the secrets, right? Let's see. 52 seems awful hot idling in BIOS. Date time is wrong. The cooler is going to be toasty either way, I think. Yeah, this thing's not going to... You're not going to get extremely low idle temps. But when it's also overvolting like this, so... We're at 1.273 core voltage. Look at that idle temperature just go down. It amazes me that AMD does this, but this is probably a early version of a BIOS. You know, it says 10/13/2020. That's pretty old, so we're gonna end up doing a new BIOS, and I guarantee a lot of this stuff gets fixed. Where's James Pryor? Hey James, what's up, buddy? Another bearded slacker. But yeah, so we're running 39C pretty easily. I mean, I barely changed anything, so I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to go with a new BIOS either way. So I think what we'll do is let's see over here. So we'll go to asus.com. Oh, wrong one. Don't worry, I'll share the screen in a second. So we have, where are we? There we go. So show desktop. Oh, hold on. Since we switched from 4K to a high def, I gotta change all the base settings, so it's kind of annoying. I was highly disappointed that we couldn't do 4K streaming. Like, what more do you want to ask for? It's kind of ridiculous. So here we go. So a lot of the times what we do says 100% on fans. Fans are probably going really slow, so I'm not too worried about that. We want to get I want to get the BIOS for the motherboard before I do anything. Before we really start going down and messing with settings, I want to go and get the proper BIOS. Having the proper BIOS is usually a solving for everything. When I buy a board, the first thing that I always do is upgrade the BIOS, because you got to figure that BIOS was updated when the board was put into the box. So depending on when you buy it, you could basically, I don't know, you want to make sure that you go through and update your BIOS. Always update the BIOS, because it will save you headache for, like, if you get a certain memory that's maybe new, the board hasn't been tested with it, and they always put releases in there for memory compatibility. So you want to make sure you're always doing your BIOS checks. So before you start on anything, remember, do your BIOS checks. That's pretty much key. Just do it. Don't complain. I bet Jay can stream 4K. Maybe. I bet you he could. Let's see. So support, consumer. Yeah, whatever. I hate when they do this. Like, they make their stuff so convoluted sometimes. So let's see. So we're on their site, drivers and manuals. Let's go enter download center. So we got to edit the models. So we'll do, what is it, X570. Oh, let me switch here. I keep using the BIOS one. So we have X570. We'll just put Dark Hero. Should be able to find it. What is this Strix Claw Dark Edition? Dark Edition. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's a little weird. Not gonna lie. Hold on. I gotta look at this. What is the Strix Claw? Oh, okay. That makes sense. It's a mouse. Sorry, I thought that was. I don't know. That's just a weird name. The Claw Dark. Strix Claw Dark. It's just funny how they use everything. So we have the Rogue Crosshair 8 Dark Hero, the X570. So we go to drivers and tools. See how it says CPU memory support? Your BIOS is going to get you that extra memory support. Highly recommend. So we're going to go there. Look at that pretty board. So you can see a lot of different things. So it gives you a spec overview, AM4 socket, DDR4. I'm curious when DDR5 is going to come. I know maybe that's next gen, next year. I don't know. It should be interesting. So what we're going to do, it's funny how they make you go over everywhere. I just went to support. Why do I have to go here and do that? So we got to go to drivers and tools. Pick your OS. I don't know why your OS has to do with your BIOS. It's weird how they do that. Kind of irritating. And you'll see we have a bunch of BIOS. So we have one that's 129. So what is that? 2 days ago we got... let's see. Usually they give you, we'll go see all downloads, so that way you can see all the different BIOS version. You'll see in here that basically, like, you'll have like add resize bar shortcut for AMD SAM support, new CPU support for new CPUs. You get the new ICEGIANT and the newest one. So I want to do some ICEGIANT testing. So I feel like that's probably something to play with. I haven't really tested PBO on the older platforms, so it's something I want to do. I've heard that it's broken. Sometimes it isn't broken. So it's kind of strange. So I want to kind of I don't know. I kind of want to play around. It says if you add a folding stock to an... I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. So what I'm going to do is download this BIOS, and we're going to update the BIOS. So what I'm going to do is show one folder. I'll go over here. And we're going to download the BIOS. And I'm going to end up just leading you guys through how to do the BIOS. It's not difficult. Joy, are you looking forward to Microsoft's direct storage? I hope it unloads my CPU a little bit so I can clock it more. I can't wait. Just wish they would update us more. Not sure. I haven't really looked into Microsoft's direct storage. So all I know is that like the NAS setup that I have is much better than any Microsoft setup. To be honest, and I've done a lot of Microsoft stuff for 20 years. It's pretty nice. Yeah, the 3900X is with the ICEGIANT and the PBO. I heard that there's a lot of issues. And it's supposed to be solved on the newer chips. So it's kind of something that I want to go over with and kind of play around and see what it's going to do. So random guy. What? PBO just makes heat and scores worse half the time. Yeah, it's kind of weird because it's even like Intel's terminal velocity boost. It's like, how do you know that that's actually working the correct times? I feel like it's going to take a while to like get that perfected. And if it ever does, you know. So, I don't know. So, we downloaded the BIOS. Whoa, no light. Let there be light. Oh, it's so bright over here. Alright, so I got the BIOS. I'm just going through it now. I'm going to copy it over to a USB drive. That way I can put it to the box. So they basically you download a zip. And what I'm going to do is copy that BIOS just over to a USB drive. So I got a USB drive right here. Just going to plug it in. It's like the Glade plugins. Plug it in, plug it in. RG10 uses it. It's supposed to give direct access to memory. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. I completely forgot about the direct thing. Sorry, it's been one of those weekends, man. So bear with me. Yeah, no, I'm excited to test. So one of the reasons why I also wanted to do like just an AMD setup is because when you're supposed to be able to have everything working between the two systems, like AMD, everything is supposed to do I don't know, you're supposed to be able to score pretty well. So I'm excited to test, to really hammer down into the 6900 XT. I really wanted to do 5700 XT last time, but I don't know. When I was benching with it, if you guys remember at Gamers Nexus, we actually benched the 5700 XT, and I didn't really do much with it. That was something that Steve did, and all the BS that he had to go with, I didn't have enough time to really play with it before I could actually go and test it with him. So I want to change that this time. I want to make sure that we go through and I don't know. I feel like it's something that I'm interested in, and when I'm interested in it, that means we're going to go through it and go through it pretty hard. I'm going to have this setup running pretty much all the time, so that way I can just do a bunch of performance testing. Because I feel like it's going to be awesome. I'm just worried that I probably got a crappy chip compared to all the other overclockers and stuff. It's one of the things that's kind of disappointed me lately is just I don't know, just basically silicon lottery in general. The M1918 rifle is also called bar, so with a folding stock, it'd be resizable. Yeah. Oh, I don't... To be honest, I don't even know... I didn't even realize what you were talking about, dude. It's kind of funny. So let me see. Let me put the USB in. Now, flashing your BIOS is really easy. I mean, there's not much to it. Usually what I do is I just do it in the OS. Sometimes you're not going to be able to. Like if you have an older CPU in there, and then you need to update it to the newer CPU. Usually what happens a lot is that you upgrade the CPU, you put your cooler on, and then when you try to turn it on, you get a bunch of weird postcodes. So Asus usually has a nice, I think it's called Asus Flashback, where you can just plug it in the USB as long as you rename the file a certain way, depending on which board you're using. You can flash the BIOS that way. Well, we're not going to do that, but I highly recommend for in a pinch, say if your board is not working, or like if, I don't know, you have something wrong, I always usually use BIOS Flashback as a way to maybe try to get the board alive also. So it's a very cool feature, very awesome. But yeah. So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're not going to flash the BIOS that way. We're going to flash it just through the interface. So I'll show you guys how to do that. It's not very difficult, just for some of the guys that are new. But yeah, so I'm just going to go over. Usually we go into, you'll see tools. You'll see the Asus Easy Flash 3 utility. You just basically hit enter. In here, it's going to basically go through. You'll see that basically on the storage device, we have the Rogue Crosshair 8, or is it 13 now? I don't even remember anymore. I think I keep on saying 8, and I always mess up my Roman numerals or whatever. So the Dark Hero, you see it's a 3204.ca file, right? So you just use the arrow, hit over to the right, or you can use the mouse. I just happen to use keyboard stuff. And just hit enter on that. And it's going to ask you, do you want to read from this file? And you click yes. Let's see. Zyfix, how do you feel about PC parts rising? To be honest, I'm not surprised. I don't like it, obviously. I feel like the consumer's getting screwed, which is never a good thing. I feel like it's not going to get any better. It's going to be like this for a while. I feel like with this whole thing that's gone on with us is that it's kind of almost reinvented the PC market. So a lot of the stuff that we see is probably here to stay. I feel like at least in the next couple years, because the PC market is just so... they're selling out everywhere. I mean, it's been quite a crazy year from what I've heard and talked to, like, just different companies and stuff. It just... how the PC market is in general. I don't think it's going to change that much. So I think this is something that we're going to have to deal with for quite a decent amount of time. I'm going to actually go over change screens while that's waiting. There's not much to really do with that. But yeah, it's kind of crappy to see the parts go up, but I think it just comes with PCs becoming more popular again. I mean, that's a good sign. I love seeing more people come into it. Teaching more people about it, because I mean, computers I've made a living off of for 20 years, so that's basically all I do. I work in information security now. I've worked in information security for 20 years, so it's kind of, I don't know. PC stuff is what gets me by, you know. Sometimes I need a break, but yeah, I've heard the memory prices are a little crazy. Yeah, I feel like the PC market, guys, not to be a downer about it, but I feel like it's going to be like this for a while. And I'm saying like at least 1 to 2 years. I feel like it's just, there's just too many people buying stuff. I feel like we almost had it made in the past couple years where prices kind of were going down. It's just the PC market. It's just kind of crazy. But yeah, so let's see what's going on. Is the machine, obviously a BIOS is going to take a little bit longer. On AMD, it's actually takes quite a bit longer than usually on an Intel system. It's just because of how big the BIOSes are now. They're a lot bigger than they used to be. So, let's see what else we got here. So let's take a look. So what I like to do is, like, when I go onto like Asus site, well, I like to go through and try to see like what BIOS is what, right? You'll see here it has the add resize bar shortcut, the new CPU support. So because I think this is X570, so it originally has CPU support. It probably changed a couple times, especially since the 5900 when it came out compared to when this board was technically released. But it is interesting that 2601, if you look at the patch C, like this ICEGIANT, I'm interested to see like the newer version, how much it is different. So it looks like it's 1.2 versus 1.100 patch C. So... it's fine, Beard Lord. We love hearing your stuffs. Is your internet security protecting the stonks? Man, people are crazy. I'm interested to see how the market goes tomorrow, too. I've heard all sorts of funny stuff, so I don't know. I just hope I make some money. So that way I can keep on doing some great YouTube stuff for you guys. So, but yeah, let's see how this BIOS is going. Man, this BIOS takes forever. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if anybody remembers when Ryzen first came out, like all the BIOS issues that they had and how people were disappointed and stuff. I don't know. It's one of the reasons why even with like cars or motorcycles or anything like that, I try not... It's funny. Like in PC market, I'll always get like the newest, latest, and greatest. But like when it comes to cars and anything that's mechanical, I always usually wait like a year or to 2 years. Like for instance, my truck, right? In 2017, I have a Ford F350. They changed them in 2017, but I would never buy a 2017, so I bought a 2018. Now, it's funny, in the PC market, it's not the same. It's kind of funny how that works, But anyways, it's a 20 megabyte BIOS. Apparently, this BIOS is, I don't know, got a lot going on here. I hope it's worth it. Maybe it's all this dynamic OC that we're getting here. And maybe it's got to be some crazy dynamic OC-ness, that goodness that we're getting. I doubt it, but hey, trying to think positive here. I killed the 3090. Leave me alone. All right, where are we at here? I keep going between those two cameras. It really is taking a long time. And we need some more music. What happened here? So let's see. Let's see. Let's do some playlists. My favorites. Let's see. Let's try this one. Let's see how good it sounds. The only car I don't care about buying the first of it's a Corolla. Matt Grant, thanks for doing this, Joe. No problem, guys. And you guys, I mean, just you guys being here is always helpful, you know? Your encouragement is why I do it. I do it for you guys. I try to make it enjoyable as possible. So you guys can make sure, just if you guys can't like and subscribe, well, if you guys can't like join Patreon or do something like buy shirts or stuff like that, you can always like and subscribe. At least liking and subscribing really helps the channel more than you know. It helps fight the YouTube algorithm. Good to see compared to my NVIDIA Intel using direct access. It's why I'm excited to see the difference. I might be able to stick to my 8700K and clock its nuts off while gaming. What is Daniel Deluxe? I'm kind of scared to ask. Hi, BIOS updating. Do not shut down. You ever want to, like, you ever see those and you're like, it tells me not to. It tells me to shut down. Like, I feel like it makes me want to shut down. Here, let me move these around. I keep on hitting them. Yeah, the machine's rebooting real quick. So, can I subscribe and like instead? Yes, you can like and subscribe all the time. No, it's just so, I don't know. Especially when you guys like and subscribe. It helps me too. And I don't know. It's weird doing YouTube. I mean, there's some times where we all go through, like, as a YouTuber, I don't know. We go through our moments. There's a lot of times, like, when I don't stream for a while, like, jumping on a stream, man, it just seems so, I don't know. Feels like you're climbing Mount Everest sometimes, so. But you guys doing all these likes and subscribes, man, it really gives me the confidence to really push myself further to really keep doing these for you guys. So I can't tell you how much it means to me when you guys do this stuff. So just keep doing it. Just keep on giving me the encouragement, if you know what I'm saying. So, well, yeah. Will you try to kill this GPU too? That's the goal. Here's my thing. If you're not killing it, then you're not pushing it hard enough. That's just the rule. That's just how it rolls. Okay? So, just what it is. Sometimes you kill stuff, man, and to be honest, it gets depressing. To be honest, if you asked me about 10 hours ago how I felt about it, I would have told you I was down in the dumps. I didn't know if I was going to stream today, but to be honest, the only reason why I'm streaming today is because of my Discord people. If I didn't have those Discord people, or my Patreon guys, I probably wouldn't have streamed today, but I feel like getting all the good, I don't know, That's why I highly push the Patreon. I mean, for $2 a month, I mean, it's pretty, I don't know. It's a cool place to go, and we have lots of good people over there. It's a good community and good crowd. Don't be trying to mess it up either, because I will kick you. I have no problem kicking you. So, yes, you toasted the 3090. I'm video editing on a GTX 65M. Your pain is far, far worse. Sorry for your loss. Gaming with geezers. Aw, thanks, broski. It's much appreciated. Same as Motorsport. If you don't fall off the black stuff, you aren't going fast enough. Matt, I really like you. You get me, bro. You really get me. Alrighty, let's see. So what are we at? Oh, we're back here. So let's see what we have. We have the generic flash disk. Please enter the setup to recover. So press F1. We hit F1. Can you guys see that screen all right? It seems a little dull, but I will give it a try tomorrow. Thanks for the help, Eric. Glad other people are helping each other. I try to reinforce that. Helping others is the key here, man. If you're not gonna be helpful, you might as well just leave. I'm always down with cool people, and being cool is just helping others. Let's see. So. Was it not 1.42? I really, it blows my mind that it runs 1.425 stock. Interesting. So the first thing what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to kick up these fans. So let's make sure. Oh, what am I doing here? Monitor. CPU package is hot. So CPU fan speed. What is it? I always forget with these. Dun, 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 dun. I like this song. Whoa, that's weird. Oof. Wow, it's funny because I'm using this wireless mouse and it's kind of all over the place. All right, can I move anywhere? Yeah, I'm not sure this is working all that great. So we have CPU fan. We're gonna go full speed. See how this puppy. Oh, I can hear it actually. You guys can't hear it, but now we got some power going. Let's see how good it's now. Let's voltage drop through. What is that? Man, I'm scared of pushing my CPU over 3.5, but then I'm on Intel. 3.5 isn't much, man. You gotta be at least 4 gigahertz, bro. Also, if you want to buy a GPU, Beard Hardware is selling a few of his on this. Oh, that's true too. If you want a couple of Strixes, I got the Strix. So let me go over there and make sure that everything's set up real quick. It looks like the CPU fan speed is getting higher, which is good. But let me make sure everything's good, because I haven't been looking at it. I've been talking to you guys. Make sure everything's running right. Nice. So everything's running right, and even on full speed, it's actually really not bad. AMD starts the throttle at 60C. Yeah, it's not actually throttling though. I just don't like how much voltage it's using. I think we're gonna have to set up. Oh man, it's getting late already. I don't know. I think maybe we'll have to do something about setting up an OS. So I know one of you guys. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I'm thinking. I know, Matt, you're killing me, broski. Mouse and BIOS. I know, mouse in the BIOS is just ridiculous. What is the room temperature there? 55 CPU, and you do nothing. Yeah, the temperature in here is actually really hot, so it's actually getting hotter and hotter. You gotta remember, I'm in Florida, guys. And, yeah. What is it? AMD throttles at 90. Did someone say throttles at 60? Yeah, dude, it's, to be honest, it's really hot in here. And the voltage, I wouldn't really worry about it. That 52C, I don't know, AMD seems to, I don't know, every AMD system that I've seen, they seem to register pretty hot, but, like, I don't know, it doesn't seem that hot. Like, if you're around them and you see how much heat puts off, like, if you were to see X299, where the amount of heat that got pulled out, oh, man, ridiculous. But yes. Hey, it's my favorite Slacker, K3K4. What's up, Slacker? What's going on? Don't AMD fans make fun of Intel for running hot? That's it's pretty funny you say that because it's kind of true. But yeah, but we can get this down real quick. Just watch this. I just said it. The problem is we don't have an OS running right now, so if I set 1.2, I guarantee you it'd be fine. Let's see. That air cooler sucks. It's not. You guys gotta understand the way this air cooler works. Is it's about low temperatures. Idle temperatures mean nothing. Plus, we have to make. I also have to make sure that the mount is actually set up correctly too. So, you guys also need to remember that the temperature of the cooler is also depending on the temperature of the ambient and that's in the room. So basically, you guys don't realize how hot it is in here. I'm in Florida. You guys are in cold weather. I am not in cold weather at all. It's probably like 85 degrees in here. Probably even warmer than that right now, which is kind of lame. But yes, I'm curious to see just how the idle temps come down. To be honest, you kind of want hot temps with this cooler because then it boils and then it basically repairs itself. Oh, this is the Windows stuff. I want to remove that. I wonder which... Oh, man, I don't remember which version this is. We're going to have to go through and do a strip down one. I know one of my highly requested things is to basically do a strip, a Windows 10 strip edition. I forgot to hit reset. Hold on. I think just Control Delete. Gonna work? No, hold on. Alright, we had to reboot real quick because it was going to Windows 10 and I didn't want to install Windows 10 real quick. Should we bench in a walk-in freezer? That would be kind of fun. Load is at 4.6 at 70C and CB loop. Yeah, but it's a different thing, man. You can't just go by a package temp. Package temp's a big difference. There's no. You also got to figure this is a 16 core, so it's going to be running a lot. Look at that, 38C on idle. Already, just what 1.2. I'm curious why 1.4. I just don't see why they do this. It's probably for PBO to get those extra clocks for those, because a lot of the times you get a scaling effect, so you need that voltage to be able to go up there. But it's crazy. Yeah, you also got to figure too. Mine, it's up there, and there's a lot of heat over there. I have these lights that I need to replace that are like absolutely ridiculous. Let's see, what do we got here? So I don't know. I think maybe we just do. I think we might just close off here, I think. So guys, here's some things that we're going to be doing. So we got this setup going. The thing is we need an operating system. So I think one of the things we're going to do, I don't know, let me see how this week goes. But, I don't know. We need to get this setup going. And the only thing we can do is we can either do a default Windows installation or... I don't know. I guess we can go with a default installation. Or do you guys really want this Windows 10 stripped down edition? I feel like this is the time to do it more than anything. Let me prepare a little bit. It says bearded hardware only fans with extra stripping. I like it. I like it a lot. But yeah. Anyways. 1 degree. The core voltage got you down. I just don't like how hot it is. Dude, my, what is it, my 1X570, the MSI board, the Godlike. I remember when we did Ryzen last time, the 3950X, or not even that, just the 3700X and the 3900X. It's ridiculous. It just runs so hot. It's just so pointless. There's no reason to put 1.4 volts in there. Even, I don't know, that's why I'm an all-core guy. I like to set everything up manual. I like to set it up so I know what clocks I'm getting. I mean, it just depends on what you're doing. For what I do, that's pretty much usually, that's how it is. Do it in Linux. What am I going to do it in Linux? Problem is every time we bench, there's no utilities in Linux It pisses me off, actually, because to be honest, I try to push Linux as much as possible, like to try in the OC community, but I don't know. I feel like it's too difficult for a lot. People complain about just benching now. I would like to know how to make a stripped OS for benching. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to end up having to do. The only thing is I'm going to have to do some prep for it. I got to refresh my memory, because there's a couple... If you ever have done, like, Windows stripping before, like, there's ones... Windows OnlyFans edition. I love it. Zeus, thanks for the 10 bucks, broski. Yeah, dude, there's a couple programs that do it. Then you can use like Windows itself for it. It's not that difficult. It's just with AMD, I'm not sure. I don't think I did it with Windows. Yeah, I don't think I did a Windows 10 AMD one. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try around and kind of play. Check out Windows 10 Superlight. Has a quick Windows gaming mode activation. Yeah, I didn't hear anything that great about it. I don't know. It's more or less, we're going to have to test and play around. So maybe if we just try like a couple different things, like, I don't know. Maybe we'll try like a Windows, we do a stripped down one where we basically strip everything out of the OS and kind of test and kind of do a bench OS. And then we can go and try to do maybe, I don't know, a bunch of things. But all I know is I need a bench set up quickly because I'm going to start playing around with stuff because that 1600 XT is not going to overclock itself over there. I don't care how good that dynamic OC they say it is. It's not going to be happening over here, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, what is the highest voltage you would go on a 8700K on 360 AIO? It depends on your chip. There's no problem with 1. I usually try to keep things under like 1.35. That's usually, but it depends on your cooling. With a 360 AIO, that should be plenty fine. All depends on how good your chip is. Some chips need more voltage than others. Remember the silicon lottery. That's one of the reasons why I'm probably just gonna kill the Strix videos from here on out, because my other silicon lottery on those other cards are not the greatest. Not to say they're bad in any ways. It's just when you want to compete for like the top in the world, you have to go through so many cards, and it's just pretty much just not worth it, you know. It's just that it's so hard to get a card unless you're a manufacturer sponsor where you can go through every card. It's just kind of difficult to do. So I think what we're going to do is stick to stuff like this where we're going to build out and teach you guys how to OC all the stuff. And I don't know. It's kind of fun. And then we'll put stuff on liquid nitrogen and play around. And there's a lot of stuff to do. So I've done every optimization I can without breaking my OS, and recently tested against a fresh install with basic power plant tweaks and got considerably lower 3D bench scores. Yeah, there's this fine line between like what you pick, like you know how like you do like what is it, Karate Kid, where they say balance, right? There's definitely a balance for taking out too much versus taking out not enough. So you have to be kind of careful, because if you take out some stuff, sometimes it's a bad day. Like if you need like USB to work for some reason and you basically removed all the USB drivers, then that's going to be an issue, right? So usually when you're doing like a stripping video, you want to, or like do a stripping OS, you kind of want to go through and kind of think about what is this OS going to be used for. If it's a bench OS, like a 2D, we don't need all the goodness for 3D stuff, right? So you got to kind of go through and figure out. John Kraus just joined the Patreon and logged in the Discord. I think you have to go into and accept. Let me bear with me. After the stream, I'll go through and do it. But I think you have to go to welcome and then do a checkbox or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've gone through. But we'll make sure you joined. I saw that you joined on Patreon. I got a message or notification, so we'll make sure you get in there. So don't worry about that, slacker. But yeah, so I think we're going to end up running the stream down. We did a lot. We basically talked a lot. I don't know. It felt good. I feel like we're good on streams. I feel like we need another stream soon. I don't know. I felt like this stream went well, and I feel like maybe we're going to have to do... I don't know. I don't think we're going to do a condensed version for this. Maybe we'll do a small video where I can cut it up, but... I don't know. I don't think we're going to do a condensed version, because this is just something where we're kind of playing around. And yeah, welcome our rules, Jess. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna be doing some more videos, paste videos. I think the next thing on the workflow is definitely gonna be stripping Windows 10. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I don't know if I'm gonna do a video or a stream on it yet. I gotta do some prep work for it, and then once I do the prep stuff, we'll start doing the stripping. And we're not talking about OnlyFans there, broskies. But yeah. But yeah, so it was fun. I haven't played with the curve optimizer stuff at all. That's one of the reasons why I'm getting this all set up for AMD. I wanted to try out all these features because I've heard so many things about them. I just haven't personally gotten able to actually test it. So that's pretty much why we want to do it. Cheers for keeping me entertained while crook. While crook? You mean cook or something? I'm not sure. Caught it at the end. But anyways, so yeah, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. We're going to be doing lots of stuff. Like I said, every week from now on, we're basically doing something on YouTube. And if it's a video or if it's live stream, I try to do more live streams. I do miss them. To be honest, I really do miss them. So we're going to be doing it and doing a lot. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming, so I don't know. You guys gotta bear with me too, man. Remember, I do have a life, and I try to do as much as I can. I'm learning a lot. What you guys don't see in behind the scenes is that I've invested heavily into cameras, audio, video, all sorts of stuff. So it's finally paying off now, just learning how to use it and dealing with it. It's been very tough and really hard to deal with, you know? So, but yeah. So, I don't know. Guys, it's been great. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Follow me on YouTube. I'll be all over it. Because I'm gonna be infamous. But yeah. So, but yeah, slackers. I'm gonna be rolling out. So, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out Patreon. Also, beardedhardware.com. If you want to order shirts, I'm slacking on them now, as one dude said, but I gotta check on him, make sure his order's corrected. So, make sure you check it out. So, yeah. Alright, guys. So, slacker out. Damn, you too.